Gon was raised on the small and peaceful Whale Island, where the worst thing he had to worry about was the local wildlife. Even as a child, he was able to grow stronger than the average man, just by hunting and playing with the animals on the island. But what if Gon was raised in Meteor City, and had to learn how to survive the harsh wasteland along with all the assassins and other shady characters that call Meteor City home? This is a what if about how I think this would change the Hunter x Hunter story. So, before we begin, if you like the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, so you can see whenever I post the next part. But that's enough talk, let's start the video. Gon stares out at the junkyard surrounding him, ready to leave his home behind and start a journey of his own. Gon's godmother Mito has promised to let him take the Hunter exams, if he can get the elder of the city to watch over the family until Gon returned. Mito figured it would be impossible for Gon to accomplish this, but today is the day Gon gets his chance to speak with the elder. Gon walks inside the makeshift palace, determined to accomplish his goal. Gon stands at the foot of the elder, who tells him to speak. Gon goes to one knee, telling the elder about his plan to become a hunter, and promises that when he does become a hunter and returns, Gon will perform one task, no questions asked, for the elder. If he promises to take care of Mito and his grandmother until he returns. The elder asks, "How can I be sure you will become a hunter? And how long should I wait before assuming you're dead?" I'm stronger than any kid in this city, and most of the adults. My father was able to become a hunter at my age, and I'll be no different. Also, if I fail, you can just go back to living how you were without losing anything. But if I don't fail, you'll have a hunter in your debt and ready to help you with anything. The elder smiles. "Okay, Gon. You have a deal. I'll station 2 of my guards watching your family at all times, for 1 year. After that, they'll be on their own again." Gon excitedly thanks the elder and heads to tell Mito the news. But before he leaves, he warns the elder, "I have no intention to break my promise, so I hope you feel the same about yours." The elder nods his head in agreement with Gon, who finally runs out the door back to Mito's house. As Gon tells Mito he's leaving, she cries and tries to convince him to stay, but Gon refuses, telling her he needs to meet Ging and will be back soon. Mito knows she can't stop Gon from going, so she gives her blessing and tells Gon how he's so much like his father. Gon smiles, saying he wants to see for himself if that's true, and promises to be careful before heading out to the harbor to sail off in search of the exam. Before Gon leaves, he is stopped by a man he's never seen before. The man introduces himself as a friend, telling Gon he and some others will be helping look after his family. Gon thanks them and tells them how important Mito is to him and asks them to do their best. The man agrees and tells Gon they will be looking out for him as well, trying to reassure Gon that the people in Meteor City have to look out for each other, and hopefully Gon will be able to help him and his family when he comes back. Gon nervously laughs, telling the man he has to go before he misses the boat. "Oh, of course, go right ahead," the man tells Gon, sending him on his way. From this point, Gon boards a boat and heads to the town the exams are supposedly being held at, where he runs into Kurapika and Luorio. The 3 of them decide to help each other find the exam headquarters, where they pass the final 2 tests and are brought into the waiting room with the other applicants. Gon and his new friends are sizing up the other applicants when they are greeted by the rookie crusher Tampa, who warns them about some of the others, but mainly Hisoka, who seems to already be paying attention to Gon and his group from across the room. Then, when Tampa offers the group the poison drinks, Gon is immediately able to taste the poison, spitting it out. But because of his dealings with people like Tampa in Meteor City and being less naive to what people will do to get ahead, this time Gon is less forgiving. He shoves Tampa to the floor and threatens to do much worse if he ever tries messing with him or his friends again. Everyone in the room can feel Gon's anger and are surprised by his commanding presence. Tampa starts apologizing in terror of Gon when they are interrupted by Satatsu, starting the first official event of the Hunter exam. Tampa quickly runs from Gon, getting as close as he can to Satatsu, as everyone starts to follow after the Hunter on the 80-kilometer run. Killua instantly goes to find Gon after seeing him handle Tampa so easily. The boys talk about their age and Gon growing up in Meteor City. Killua grows more and more interested in Gon, telling him about his mom and butlers, who were also born in Meteor City, thus starting their friendship/rivalry for the exams. The boys race ahead of everyone to finish first, and Gon is actually able to beat Killua this time, now that he's stronger from his days growing up in Meteor City. Killua brushes this off as luck and tells Gon he's gonna win their next contest for sure. But with one loss to Gon already, Killua is already seeing Gon as more of an equal in terms of strength, furthering the rivalry even more. Outside of the tunnel, things continue the same as the anime. Gon and Luorio confront Hisoka, who lets them live because he can see the potential they have. They pass the Gourmet Hunter's exam easily, as well as collecting the Spider Eagle eggs, which lets them move on to Phase 3. So the group rests on the airship, heading to the Trick Tower, where, once again, Gon and Killua are confronted by Netero, who takes a special interest in them since he can see the resemblance to his friends Ging and Zeno in the young boys. So, wanting to test the boys' strength, Netero challenges them to the ball test, promising that if they can take the ball from him, he will give them their license on the spot. With Gon and Killua confident that they can take the ball from an old man like Netero, they decide to take turns. Killua asks Gon to try first, wanting to see how good Gon is compared to his own skill, which Gon happily agrees to. Gon starts with little effort, reaching for the ball as Netero toys with him, easily dodging any attempt Gon makes. Gon starts getting more serious as he gets more and more annoyed with how easily Netero is avoiding him. He tries chasing after Netero with all his strength, swinging for the ball as Netero hops back and forth on one foot. Before long, Killua steps in, telling Gon, "Just take a break while I show you how it's done." Killua starts off with his rhythm echo, impressing Gon and Netero, but even with this technique, he doesn't do much better than Gon. Netero laughs at the young boys, asking if they've already given up. They both agree to keep going, while Netero allows them to try working together. Again, Killua starts with his rhythm echo, hoping to gain an advantage against Netero. Gon studies Killua's movements until Netero is distracted. So, Gon, finally seeing his chance, runs forward, perfectly copying Killua's rhythm echo, to Netero's surprise. Gon gets one finger on the ball before Netero resorts to a swift kick, sending Gon backwards and onto the ground. Killua runs full speed at Netero while his back is turned. Netero notices Killua and starts to move the ball out of Killua's grasp. Killua knows he won't be able to take the ball, so he just pushes it out of Netero's hand and towards Gon. With Gon mere moments from getting the ball, Netero uses all his strength to shoot forward and catch the ball half a second before Gon could have. "You cheated," Killua barked at Netero. "You said you wouldn't use both your hands." Netero smiles. "Did I really say that? I can't remember." Killua, in frustration, gives up, telling Gon, "You can keep wasting your time if you want, but I'm going back to rest with Krepka and Luorio." Gon tries to convince Killua to stay, but decides to keep training by himself when Killua leaves. Gon tries and tries for several hours, and even in this short amount of time, Gon grows enough for Netero to use both hands just in case. But despite being stronger than he was in the anime at this point, he's still unable to take the ball from Netero. Netero was impressed enough by Gon to delay the ship so he could get some extra rest before the next phase of the Hunter exams, the Trick Tower. When Gon wakes up, Netero orders everyone out of the ship and explains their next task. "You all must find a way down from the top of the tower. I don't care how you do it, as long as you do it before the time limit of 72 hours. All the applicants scramble to figure out this puzzle as Netero and the other hunters return to the airship. Some people try climbing down with no success. Some break into teams, while some just observe the other applicants' strategies. Just like in the anime, Gon is the one in his group to find the secret passage hidden in the tower. He explains to Killua that the Trick Tower is actually a prison, so they need to be careful with who might be inside. "How do you know that?" Killua asks. Well, a lot of people in Meteor City have ended up here, so the word kinda gets around. Gon, Killua, and Kurapika try looking for Leorio before they enter the passage, but he seems to have disappeared with some of the other applicants and is nowhere to be found. Gon tells the others he trusts Leorio can make it on his own, and the three boys enter the secret passage together. Because of Gon finding the passage earlier than in the anime, they end up on a much different path than they took in the show. Also, Leorio actually ends up taking the original path from the anime, but this time he's with Hanzo, Illumi, Hisoka, and of course, Tampa. But, lucky for Gon and the others, this path only requires 3 people, so the door in the chamber unlocks and leads to a dark room. The 3 boys can feel a sinister presence inside, but don't know who or what it could be. But with no fear, they push forward into the unknown. Kurapika speaks up, saying, "This seems to be a maze. It wouldn't be too bad if there was some light." They continue deeper and deeper into the darkness, the whole time feeling as though they are being watched. Finally, Gon stops the others. Gon doesn't know it, but he's already started to sense aura because of his exposure to it from some of Meteor City's stronger citizens and the assassins often wielding it. Gon reaches out at an unseen presence in the dark, grabbing a man by the throat and asks, "Why are you following us?" The prisoner instantly gives up without a struggle as Gon pushes him to Killua and Kurapika to be restrained. The prisoner explains he's been in this dark maze for years, so his eyes have adapted to the lack of light, letting him see perfectly. He also truthfully answers he was going to attack them because the wardens promised reduced sentences for prisoners who take out any of the applicants. He also admits he's not a fighter, that's why he hides in the dark, away from the dangerous criminals. The prisoner promises to lead them through the maze if they don't hurt him. The group agrees to leave him alone if he gets them to the next room. So, while the prisoner leads them to the exit, the boys talk and get to know each other a little more. This is also where Kurapika learns about Gon being from Meteor City and asks if he knows anything about the Phantom Troop. "Of course I know about them, but not much. They're kind of legends around Meteor City." "Well, they're the reason I'm becoming a hunter," Kurapika tells Gon, and then explains how the Phantom Troop killed his clan and stole his eyes. Gon is amazed at the story, not knowing the Phantom Troop were ruthless killers, when Meteor City treated them like heroes. Kurapika continues telling Gon he's going to kill every member of the Phantom Troop for what they did. Gon sympathizes with Kurapika, telling him, "I understand what you mean. My family's everything to me. If anyone ever hurt my Aunt Mitu, I really don't know what I would do." Killua scoffs, saying family's overrated and he's glad to finally be away from his family. Before they can continue their conversation, they arrive at the exit to the maze and are greeted by a bright light and another door. They thank the criminal for guiding them as he scurries back into the darkness, while he laughs to himself, thinking, "Little do they know, I brought them to the worst room possible. Let's see how they handle this." The 3 boys are offered a choice between 2 doors, one marked easy and the other marked hard. A voice on an intercom tells them, "The door marked hard will lead you to a cell with several people waiting to attack whoever enters. The easy door leads directly to the exit, but only 2 of you would be allowed to enter. Take as long as you like to decide which door to open." Gon instantly goes to open the hard door, as he is backed up by his new friends, all wanting to take this challenge on together. The 5 prisoners seem hysterical at the fact that it's 3 little boys they have to fight, with most of them saying they don't even want to waste their time with these kids. One man finally volunteers and steps forward, trying to intimidate the boys, warning them, "I'm going to take my time and enjoy this." He points at Killua, saying, "I'm going to kill you first," and starts walking towards him. Killua laughs, "Oh really?" and instantly runs up, ripping the man's heart out with his bare hands. This gets the other prisoners' attention, as one says, "Maybe we should take them seriously." Kurapika stands next to Killua, warning them, "Yeah, you should take us seriously if you want to keep living your sorry lives." Killua and Krapka quickly take out 3 more of the prisoners as one man stands back and out of the way. Killua uses a combination of rhythm echo and his claw-like hands, while Kurapika batters the others with his 2 Boken swords. The 2 boys easily outclass the 3 grown men, even when outnumbered. Gon keeps his eyes on the one man standing in the back, waiting for him to try and get involved, but the last prisoner just stands watching his fellow criminals lose. With all the other prisoners knocked unconscious, the last man speaks up. "I know I can't beat you 3, and there's no point in trying. I don't really care for fighting, I just want to kill. So if you leave me with the 3 guys you just beat, feel free to walk into the next room." He opens the door and offers them free passage past him. Gon, Killua, and Krapka slowly walk past the man as he watches them intently. Gon lets Killua and Krapka go ahead of him, because he still doesn't trust the prisoner, and when Killua and Krapka pass through the door, the prisoner grabs Gon, throwing him back and locking the door, separating Gon away from his friends. Killua tries opening the heavy metal door, but it doesn't budge. Krapka also tries to no avail. As Killua keeps trying and trying, Krapka tries to calm him down, telling him to trust Gon, and believe that he'll come through those doors any second now. Gon looks at the prisoner in disgust, asking, "What the hell's your problem?" "I'm sorry," the killer explains in a desperate, creepy voice. "I just can't control myself. I've been waiting to kill my cellmates for so long, and now you guys come in here just to toy with me? I had to take at least one of you. And the reduced sentence from stopping 2 applicants is a great bonus." "What do you mean?" Gon asks. "Well, the door ahead only opens for 1 person or the complete team of 3. So, when I kill you, your friends will have to kill each other to get out of here." The crazed killer laughs from the joy he gets from what he's done. Gon snaps back at the killer. "Well, you picked the wrong one. I hate liars, and I'm gonna end you." Gon decides to practice his new rhythm echo technique he learned watching Killua, as the killer takes out a hidden blade. The killer laughs at Gon. "You won't trick me like that." He runs at Gon, slicing at his doubles, unable to find the real one. Gon quickly punches him, sending him back flying into the metal door. The prisoner spits out blood and is visibly shaken by Gon's strength. He stands up and tries again to attack Gon, who realizes he doesn't even need his rhythm echo. Gon dodges every movement of the man and easily knocks the blade out of his hand and again throws him against the metal door with little effort. "I'm sorry," the killer pleads with Gon. "I'll unlock the door and let you through." "I told you, I hate liars, and you lied not just to me but my friends too, so I don't have to feel bad for this," Gon says as he punches the man so hard he flies through the door and lands at Kurapika's feet. As Killua cheers for Gon's victory, Gon walks to Krapka and Killua, mumbling how he hates this guy. He grabs the unconscious prisoner and throws him back into his cell, bouncing him off the wall before he lands on the cold, hard floor. "Let's go, guys," Gon says to his friends, as he tries walking off his anger. They exit the last door, ending up in a waiting room, and are congratulated for being the second group to finish the trick tower. They hear a familiar voice call out to them as they see Luorio running over to them. "Man, I was worried about you all. I guess I shouldn't have been," Luorio says. Then, Gon and Krapka ask how he finished so fast, until they see Hisoka walking towards them. "So Gon, I see you made it. This is exciting. I hope we get a chance to test each other out in the next round." Gon feels all eyes on him as Hisoka looms over him, waiting for his response. Gon walks past Hisoka, telling him, "As long as you don't get in any of our way, I won't get in your way." Hisoka laughs and waves bye to Gon as he and his friends head out of the waiting room into the airship. Killua warns Gon not to get too cocky with Hisoka. He's just different than any of the other applicants. Luorio helps Killua make his point, telling Gon, "I was in Hisoka's group during the trick test. He didn't just beat the people in front of him, he had the whole group worried about what he would do to one of us if we crossed him. Thanks guys, but I can handle myself. I know how to handle guys like Hisoka." "Whatever you say, Gon," Luorio says with a worried expression on his face. As time passes, the applicants that survive the trick tower are brought together for the 4th phase. About 24 people are left and they all draw random numbers. Gon grabs his number and instantly notices it's the same number as Hisoka's applicant badge. One by one, the rest of the applicants draw their numbers and wait for the Hunters Association to explain the next task. Netero tells the applicants, above all, a hunter's job is, of course, to hunt. Whether you're hunting a person, a place, a thing, or an idea, you will be hunting something. So the next phase of the exam is going to test how well you do just that. You were all given a number before the first phase of the exam that you must now protect from the other hunters. And now, a second number you must take from one of the hunters in this room. You will all be stuck on Zevel Island for the next week, and by that time you must have a total of 6 points. You get points by hunting for badges. Keeping your badge will give you 3 points. Taking the badge number you just drew will give you 3 points. Will also give you 3 points. And any other badges you get will be worth only 1 point. Now, we're letting you onto the island in the order you finished the trick tower. So Hisoka's first, then Alumi, who is still in disguise, then Hanzo, Luorio, and Tampa. Gon tells Killua about having to take on Hisoka, with Killua telling Gon how unlucky he is. Gon agrees, but promises to do it no matter what, as Killua heads out into the woods of Zevel Island. Then, Krapka leaves the waiting room and wishes Gon good luck. After a few minutes, the hunters tell Gon it's his turn to enter. So, Gon bursts out of the boat and onto the island. He checks for any footprints in the sand or any signs of people, but finds nothing. So he runs along the beach until he finds a small opening in the jungle to rest. Gon thinks to himself, trying to form a strategy to take Hisoka's tags. I won't be able to just walk up and take it from him. I could just collect 3 more tags and hope no one takes mine. But as Gon catches his breath, he knows someone is watching him. Gon plays it cool, pretending not to notice as he feels them move closer and closer. I don't know who is coming after me, but the only advantage I have is that they think they can surprise me. Gon readies himself, and right before he is attacked, he turns around, slamming his fist into his would-be attacker, who cries out in pain. Gon covers Tampa's mouth to stop him from attracting anyone else to his location. Gon laughs to himself. I can't believe Tampa thought he could get my tag. Gon grabs the helpless Tampa by the shirt and lifts him off the ground. Am I your target or not? Gon asks in a threatening tone. No, Tampa stutters out. I just thought I could get you by surprise. I'm sorry, please don't hurt me, Tampa begs. Gon tosses him to the ground, saying, Alright, I won't hurt you. Just give me your tag. You know what? While you're at it, give me your bag too. Tampa's face goes numb. What? You're taking my tag and robbing me? Gon tells him, I'm not robbing you, I'm just taking what I need. Now hand it over. This is what you get for messing with me anyway. Tampa reluctantly hands over his tag and bag, so Gon can look through it. Gon grabs what little useful things he finds, matches and a bottle of alcohol, then tosses the bag back at Tampa. You're too little to drink that, Tampa orders Gon, as if he has some authority in this situation. I'm not gonna drink it, idiot. Now get out of here. Before he leaves, Tampa asks Gon, do you want to team up? With my brain and your brawn, we could work together and easily get 12 points. No problem. Gon just gives Tampa a frightening look that sends him running into the woods, thanking Gon for not hurting him more. With Gon now on the hunt, he carefully scouts the island for any trace of Hisoka. After a few hours of searching, Gon finds the dead body of a fellow applicant covered in Hisoka's playing cards. Gon knows he's on Hisoka's trail because of how recent the body seems to have been left here. Gon follows a trail of bloody footsteps he finds next to the body, leading to the mouth of a stream. He hides in the bushes, trying to keep his presence concealed the best he can, as he sees Hisoka cleaning the blood off of him under a waterfall. Gon's heart pounds with anticipation as he sees Hisoka's clothes and badge laying on the ground beside the river. Gon debates to himself whether he should try to sneak up and take the badge without Hisoka noticing, or if he'll even have time to reach it before Hisoka sees him. Gon knows Hisoka won't need much longer in the stream, so he takes a risk and runs out of the bushes and grabs the 2 tags laying on top of Hisoka's clothes. As Gon looks back at Hisoka, he sees the crazed clown smiling as he tries to sprint out the water and after Gon. Gon dashes past trees and shrubs, hoping to lose Hisoka or at least slow him down. But despite his best efforts, he can feel Hisoka's intense aura getting closer and closer. Gon leaps into a nearby tree, hoping to at least have the high ground as he tries to ready himself against Hisoka. He watches as Hisoka closes in, taunting Gon, saying, "Are you the unlucky one that got my number? You must be. I know you're too smart to pick a fight with me if you didn't have to." Hisoka continues as he stands under the tree Gon is hiding in. "If you come down now and impress me, I might let you live, but I'll still need my tag back." Gon tries to quietly open the bottle of alcohol he took from Tampa, but Hisoka's eyes shoot up to Gon's hiding spot. So, with the matches in his other hand, Gon pours the large bottle on Hisoka, soaking him in the alcohol. Then, Gon jumps out of the tree and lights a match, threatening to set Hisoka on fire if he gets too close. Hisoka laughs as he tries wiping the alcohol from his eyes. "Really, I didn't expect such harsh tactics from you, Gon. I have to say I'm a little impressed. But what makes you think I can't reach you before that match reaches me?" Gon silently stands his ground, daring Hisoka to make a move. Hisoka tries casually stepping forward, so Gon quickly tosses the match at Hisoka, who instantly jumps back to a safe distance. Gon relights a second match, telling Hisoka, "I told you to stand back, and I'm not going to warn you again. Go back to the river and clean yourself off before I end you." Hisoka starts sizing up Gon, and again tries rushing in for an attack. So, Gon takes the last sip of the alcohol and spits it at the flaming match, sending a large gust of fire at Hisoka, who is only able to stop the blaze by using his bungee gun to catch the flame without touching any of his body. Gon, who is shocked and confused by Hisoka seemingly stopping the fire in mid-air, decides his only choice is a direct attack, hopefully catching Hisoka off guard. But Gon is easily stopped by a stiff punch to the face, forcing him to the ground. Hisoka compliments Gon's efforts as he kicks the matches out of his hand and starts looking through the tags Gon has collected. "Today's your lucky day, Gon. It seems you found my tag for me already." Hisoka flashes Tampa's badge at Gon, then puts it in his pocket, claiming it as his own. "So Gon, I'll cut you a deal. Since you brought me my badge, we'll do a trade. I'll let you keep your badge and mine. I'll take the 2 extra badges. You'll get your 6 points and I'll have 4. I'm not worried about finding 2 more. It should be easy and it'll give me something to do while I wait for the next few days." Gon starts to stand, angered by Hisoka's condescending tone. "I'd rather you take all my tags than let me have yours. If you don't take me seriously, I promise you're gonna regret it." Hisoka again quickly rushes Gon and knocks him to the ground. "I like you, Gon, so I won't kill you this time. I'll let you grow stronger until you're actually a threat to me. And then, when you're in your prime, I'll gladly kill you. Now, keep the badge until you're strong enough to land a hit on me. When you do that, I'll show you what it's like when I'm actually trying to hurt you." Gon again struggles to his feet, but by the time he's able to stand, Hisoka is nowhere to be seen. Gon is left alone, and although he accomplished his goal of getting Hisoka's tag, he was completely beaten and outclassed by his opponent. Gon eventually meets up with Killua, who has already grabbed his target's badge and 3 others, just for fun. Gon tells Killua about his encounter with Hisoka, and how mad he was about Hisoka letting him have the tag and treating him like a joke. Killua offers to spar with Gon for the next few days, saying any practice is good practice, and it's going to be boring waiting for time to pass anyway. So, the boys start to train as Krapka runs into Luodio, who still has his badge and was able to get a random badge from another applicant. Krapka has an extra badge he offers to Luodio if he promises to help him in the next phase of the exam. Luodio doesn't want to take a handout, but with time running out, he agrees. Then, the 2 go out to find one last badge for Luodio. At the end of the week, the boat once again arrives to pick up the surviving applicants. Hisoka boards the boat first, with 4 badges easily passing Phase 4. Hanzo also boards the boat after easily collecting the target badge he was assigned. Next is Killua and Gon, who mainly because of Killua, have 7 badges combined. As the boys strut onto the boat, Gon glares at Hisoka, who only smiles in return. Next, Illumi arrives, having the 2 badges he needed, then Pakal and Bordon. The boat waits for anyone else, but it seems that everyone who passed has already boarded when finally, with only a few minutes to spare, Krapka and Luodio sprint for the boat with just enough tags to pass. Gon is the first to congratulate them for making it and also teases Luodio for almost making Kurapika late. But now, as time expires, the 4th phase is complete. Netero congratulates the 8 men for making it this far and tells them that only the final stage is ahead of them. They all cheer until he informs them that the last test will be a one-on-one tournament. The competitors wonder who they will be forced to fight, but everyone still believes they have a chance and are ready and eager to become hunters. Netero begins taking them to the Hunter Association headquarters where the tournament will take place. With the Hunter Association done deciding the brackets for the tournament, Netero explains the unique rules of the tournament. Netero tells them you only need 1 win to pass the final phase of the exam, but if you lose your match, you move on to the next round for a second chance. The only way to win is to knock your opponent out of bounds or make them quit. Since everyone here is considered an elite candidate, there will be no killing. So, if you don't pass, you are encouraged to come back next year and try. As all the applicants gather and wait for their turn to fight, Gon is called into the arena to battle in the first round. As he walks to the ring, the next name called is Killua. Both boys are surprised, but they both get excited at the idea of fighting and seeing who is stronger. Until Killua tells Gon he's going to forfeit the match. Gon gives Killua a confused look, asking, "What do you mean? Let's have our match." Killua explains to Gon, "We know I'm going to win, and even if the fight is close, it won't matter because the loser will be too hurt to win the next fight." "Oh, I see," Gon says with a smile. "You're scared to get embarrassed if you lose." Killua snaps back, "No way. I want us both to become hunters. I don't want to be the reason you lose the tournament." "Come on, Killua," Gon insists. "When will we get another chance like this to fight each other? I know you're strong, so I want to prove I'm just as good as you." Gon extends a friendly handshake to Killua, who accepts the handshake. "Okay, you asked for it." Killua throws Gon across the ring. Gon flips and lands on his feet, narrowly avoiding the edge as Killua rushes towards him, forcing Gon to stand his ground and grab onto Killua, who is surprised by Gon's strength as he finds himself unable to move Gon. Then, Gon throws a punch that barely misses Killua's chin as the young assassin jumps out of Gon's range. Luodio tries betting on the winner with Krapka as Gon and Killua trade blows back and forth. "Hey, Krapka, I got 100 on Killua if you're interested." Krapka's eyes stay fixed on the battle as he thinks about who could win. Killua seems like the obvious choice. He's faster, more well-trained, and has definitely fought more people than Gon. But I wouldn't count Gon out. He's deceptively strong and probably has the best instincts out of anyone here. Okay, I'll take the bet. Luodio cheers for Killua, telling him he better win, almost distracting Killua in the process. "Luodio, you need to think about the rules of the tournament," Krapka warns him. "You can't kill your opponent or interfere with another match or you're disqualified." Most of Killua's moves are assassination instant kills or attacks meant to disable opponents, so he's at a disadvantage not being able to use his main fighting style. Also, I don't think Gon's ever quit anything in his life. Gon might be the strongest willed person in the whole tournament. Back in the ring, Killua has gained the advantage, bobbing and weaving around Gon's boulder-like fist, tiring him out, then countering with quick bursts of his own. Killua asks Gon to give up while he's still able to fight, but Gon refuses, telling Killua, "You should just worry about this fight, not the next one." As Killua counters again and lands another hit on Gon, Gon grabs Killua's wrist. "You can't run away now," he says as he stares into Killua's eyes, almost frightening his friend in the process. Killua tries to escape but can't get out of Gon's vice-like grip. Gon pulls Killua towards him and unleashes a huge uppercut to Killua's stomach, knocking him into the air. Killua is barely able to catch his breath as another uppercut from Gon is coming his way. So, Killua rotates his body, attempting to lock on an armbar, and takes Gon down to the floor. Gon begins wrestling for the advantage as Killua keeps trying to wrap his body around Gon's arm, until he finally locks it in. Gon, knowing he doesn't have much time, starts crawling towards the outside of the ring, trying to force Killua out of bounds or to break up the hold. Even with Killua weighing him down, Gon keeps moving closer and closer. Killua thinks to himself, I don't want to hurt Gon, but I don't want to lose either. And Gon's not giving up. Killua starts to pull back on Gon's arm harder and harder as Gon drags him across the arena floor. Killua sees that he's almost out of bounds and has to think of something fast. When Gon begins to slowly lift him off the ground so he can slam Killua out of bounds. Killua knows there's nothing else left for him to do and starts to pull as hard as he can. Everyone hears Gon's arm snap before he can drop Killua out of bounds. Killua lets go and stumbles to his feet. Shocked, Killua apologizes to Gon, explaining that he didn't mean to break it. Gon rises to his feet, asking, Why'd you let go? I didn't give up. Gon holds his broken arm close to his body as he steps forward to continue the fight with Killua, who can't believe Gon's still going. What about the next fight? He asks Gon. I told you, don't worry about the next fight, worry about this one. Killua looks at the judges, telling them to stop the match since Gon's obviously hurt, but they refuse, telling him, You know the rules, only one of you can stop this fight. Killua looks at Gon's arm and tells him, I can't make you give up, so I'm done. Killua waves to the judges, telling them he gives up. Gon, angered by winning this way, complains to the judges, asking them not to stop the fight when it's just getting good. But the decision is final. Gon wins. Killua walks back with the other competitors to wait for his second fight as Gon is taken to the medical center to take care of his arm. Gon is obviously angry and doesn't even acknowledge Killua, who again tries to apologize. Killua walks over to Krapka, who's already taken his money from Luodio. Krapka tells Killua, It's okay, you probably did the right thing. Gon was never going to give up. Maybe, Killua replies, but did you see how upset he was? He probably hates me for hurting him. What? No way. He's just mad you gave up and he wasn't able to beat you. He probably feels like you felt sorry for him or didn't treat the fight as serious as he was. Really? Killua asks. So you don't think he hates me? Of course not, Kurapika tells him. You're his best friend, right? Killua wonders to himself if that's true. He never had a friend before and was hoping Gon would be his first friend. But the tournament continues. Hisoka is the next to fight and easily beats Badoro. Pakul is then supposed to fight Illumi, but Illumi surrenders so he can fight Killua in the next round. Hanzo beats Krapka and then Krapka beats Luodio, with Luodio not wanting to fight Krapka, knowing he would lose. The next fight scheduled is Killua vs Illumi. Gon walks in right before the fight starts and wishes Killua good luck. Killua thinks to himself, Me and Gon must be friends, and I'm gonna win this so we can both be hunters and keep traveling together. Gon watches on as Killua gets ready to fight, and asks Luodio and Krapka if they know anything about Killua's opponent. I know he's creepy, Luodio says as he whispers to Gon. Krapka adds he must be strong. It hasn't seemed like he needs to try very hard. Also, he's been consistently one of the top performers so far in the exam, and the only person I've seen him talk to is Hisoka, so I don't know if they have a history together or a mutual respect, but that's a huge red flag for me. Gon grows a little concerned, but he's still confident that Killua can find a way to win. As Killua is about to start the fight, his opponent begins to talk in a familiar voice. Illumi finally drops his disguise and reveals himself as Killua's older brother. Killua, out of shock and fear, puts as much distance as he can between himself and Illumi. What's wrong, Killua? Illumi calls out with a calm, emotionless voice. You're not happy to see your big brother? Mom and Dad sent me to find you. I didn't think you would end up at the hunter exams, but I'm glad I found you. Now, it's time to go home, Killua. No, I hate it there. I'm tired of killing for them. I want to have a normal life and friends. Illumi laughs and looks over to Gon, who's just watching along with everyone else, in awe of the developing situation. So, this boy is why you won't go home, Killua? I guess I'll just have to kill him, then bring you home, whether you want to or not. Killua tells Illumi to stop messing with his friends, or Illumi stops him mid-sentence. Or what, Killua? You know you can't beat me. I taught you every move you know, and everything you've ever learned has come from me. Give up now and go home, or every one of your friends will die. Killua thinks for a second, and is about to give up, when Gon calls out, Killua, you can do this. Don't give up. Even if you don't win, I won't let him take you anywhere. As Illumi turns his attention to Gon, Killua runs forward and tries striking Illumi, but he's grabbed by the neck and stopped before he can land his punch. Killua, you know you shouldn't try to fight me, so run, give up. You're not a hunter, you're an assassin. Stop shaming our family. Illumi knocks Killua out with a hard right hand. With Killua now unconscious, Illumi looks over to the hunter officiating the tournament and asks, if I leave and take Killua with me, I still get my license, right? The hunters agree, telling Illumi as long as Killua is knocked out of the ring first. After that, we can't stop you from doing as you please. So, Illumi picks up Killua and starts to leave the ring. Gon yells out, no, you can't take Killua. If you want to win, that's fine, but Killua still has more matches. Hisoka calls out to Gon, warning him not to get involved with Illumi. If he wants to, he will kill you with no problem. Illumi tells Gon, Killua doesn't belong with you and your little friends. He's next in line as the head of the greatest assassin family in the world. We won't let you ruin him with your childish games. Gon steps forward and warns Illumi not to take another step. Krapka tells Gon to calm down and let it go. We can find Killua later. But before Illumi can win the match, Gon grabs his arm and tries throwing him back. Illumi flips and lands on his feet, ready to defend himself. Fortunately, Netero steps in, dashing from across the room before Illumi can strike. Netero turns to Illumi, telling him, I will ask you to refrain from hurting this child, but I will stop you if I must. Netero then turns to Gon, telling him, I'm sorry, but since you interfered in this match, I will have to disqualify you. Gon is angry at the decision, but accepts the outcome because he knew the rules before he interfered. Gon stares down Illumi as he picks Killua off the floor and carries him over to Leorio and Krapka. Hisoka thinks to himself, this kid is fearless. I can't wait for our next fight. I just hope Illumi doesn't get to him before I do. Netero announces that the tournament is over, with everyone now having won or tied in their fight except for Leorio, and him not having an opponent thanks to Gon being disqualified. The only person not to get their hunter license is Gon. Illumi heads out of the room, telling Netero to send his license to the Zoldyck family house. He then tells Gon to let Killua know he's heading home, and next time it'll be their father who comes for him. So, everyone else waits to receive their license, while Gon waits for Killua to wake up. When he does wake up, Gon and Krapka explain what happened with Illumi, and everyone plans out their next move. Leorio tells him, now with the money he'll get as a hunter, he plans on finishing school to get his medical degree. Krapka is going to keep searching for the Phantom Trope and any leads on where to find them. And Gon tells them how he has to return home and do a favor for the leader of Meteor City. Then they look at Killua, who tells them, I don't really have anything I need to do. I just want to keep traveling with you guys. Gon asks if he'll come with him to Meteor City, and of course Killua agrees. Then they all promise to meet up soon and keep training to get stronger. They all exchange phone numbers to stay in contact and head off on their own ways to the next challenge. With Gon and Killua fresh off the hunter exams, and Gon being there to stop Illumi from taking Killua home, the boys head off to Gon's home in Meteor City. While they both walk around the city, Gon finds out that many of the citizens have learned about him going to take the mysterious hunter exam. As people gather to ask questions about his adventure, Gon politely explains he doesn't have time to talk and is just heading home to check on Mitu and his grandma. Oh, they're fine, everyone explains. Nobody would be crazy enough to mess with them considering who you got to protect them. Gon thanks them for their information and continues walking to his house with Killua. "This place is a dump," Killua exclaims, forgetting his manners. Gon laughs. "Yeah, it kind of is, but it's got character, and the people here are survivors." "Yeah, I guess," Killua answers back. "It can't be all bad if you and your family are from here." The boys continue talking until they reach Gon's house, and are greeted by Mitu, running out to hug Gon. "I'm so glad you're safe," she says, with a huge smile, while rushing Gon and his new friend inside. "Tell me everything, Gon. Like, who is this?" "My new friend Killua," Gon tells her. "I met him at the exam and he helped me out a lot." "That's great," she tells Gon, "and nice to meet you, Killua." "So, how did the exam go, Gon? Tell me all about it." Gon's smile fades as Mitu waits for an answer. "I didn't pass," he tells her. Killua interrupts Gon. "It was my fault. He didn't pass. He was going to, but he gave it up to help me." Mitu smiles. "It's okay, Gon. We're still proud of you. And don't blame yourself, Killua. It was Gon's decision to do that, and we raised him to always help good people no matter what. But we can talk more after you eat. I'll start cooking a meal for you guys." "Thanks, Mitu. I'm starving. But I have to talk to the city elder, and I don't want to keep him waiting." "Okay, Gon. Well, the food will be done when you get back." Before Gon can walk out the door, Mitu gives him a big hug and tells him again how happy she is to have him back. Then the boys head out to meet the elder of Meteor City. As they walk into the elder's palace, Killua can't stop talking about how nice Mitu was. "I wish my mom was as kind as yours. My whole family just sucks." Gon agrees with Killua. "Yeah, she's great. I'm pretty lucky that she takes care of me, like she does." Finally, though, they both reach the elder's throne room, who greets Gon like an old friend. "How's my favorite hunter?" he asks Gon. Without hesitation, Gon tells him, "I didn't pass. I'm sorry to let you down, but I'm still ready to honor the deal and help you however you need." The elder seems a little disappointed, but tells Gon it's okay. "I'm just glad you survived. I don't need you to be a hunter. I just need all that potential you have. You see, it's not just you who owe some favors. I was asked to find a good candidate for a group that helps me out from time to time, and that's where you come in. I need you to meet with them for an interview of sorts. They won't force you to join them if you don't want to, but it's still probably not a good idea to anger them. And if you do this for me, your debt will be paid. Also, if your friend there is anything like you, letting them know I sent you both will help me out even more. So, if me and Killua go to this interview, as you call it, that's it? We're even? You don't need anything else?" Gon asks. "Yes, Gon, you have my word." Gon shakes the elder's hand. "Alright, you got a deal." After getting some rest the night before, Gon and Killua head inside the abandoned building for their interview, first thing in the morning. Before long, they are greeted by two people they have never seen before. A huge man and a swordsman lead them to their boss. They warn Gon and Killua not to try anything that'll get them killed. Killua whispers to Gon in a mocking tone, "What do you think would get us killed?" Gon and Killua laugh quietly to themselves until they feel the boss's aura ahead of them. Killua is hesitant to continue forward, but he keeps going as he sees Gon pushing forward past the dark aura. They see the boss, and Gon instantly recognizes him as the man he talked to before he left for the hunter's exam. The boss finally introduces himself as Crollo and tells Gon he's happy he made it back from the hunter exams in one piece. They all have a conversation where Crollo explains that he and the other members of the Spiders have been the ones watching over Gon's family, and that they want to offer him a spot in the group because of the obvious talent and potential he has. Gon thinks back to what Krapka told him about the Spider and how bad they can be, so of course he doesn't want anything to do with the group. But he also doesn't want to waste this opportunity. Gon tells Crollo thank you for watching over my family, but I can't currently join the troop because I need to grow stronger, and I also need to get payback on Hisoka for embarrassing me during the hunter exams. This is interesting, Crollo says as he thinks of a new plan. If you're not ready to join, we won't make you join, and the offer will still be there later. But that doesn't mean we still can't help each other. If you're not joining, then we're still down one member, and our backup option just happens to be Hisoka. So, you're looking for Hisoka? We just happen to know where he is. Also, if you're going after Hisoka like you say you are, then you will need to get much stronger. We can give you some special training that will help you fight Hisoka. You just have to tell him that Chrollo wants to talk to him face to face. Tell him I'll be waiting in York New City. Gon and Killua talk it over and decide to accept the deal. This starts a few weeks of intense training with various members of the troop, mainly focusing on teaching Gon and Killua Nin. Chrollo explains the basic applications of it and unlocks their Nin in the same way Wing did in Heaven's Arena. They even get to see some of the Phantom Trope's Nin abilities to get a sense of what they might be able to do with some practice. So, after training for a few weeks, Gon and Killua are much further along than they were before going to Heaven's Arena in the anime, by knowing how to use all basic forms of Nin. But, since no one in the Phantom Trope is as good of a teacher as Wing, they don't learn their Nin types, and they still have much to learn. Next, Chrollo sends Gon and Killua to Heaven's Arena to find Hisoka. So, with their new ability to use Nin, Gon and Killua head to Heaven's Arena for a rematch with Hisoka. Gon and Killua stare at the huge skyscraper in front of them as they walk closer to Heaven's Arena. Killua takes the time to explain some things about Heaven's Arena, like how you have to clear floors until you reach level 200. After that, you receive a room and are able to challenge stronger people, like Hisoka, and other floor bosses. Wow, it's gonna be tough to make it to the 200th floor, huh? Gon asks Killua. I doubt it, Killua answers. I made it to floor 199 when I was 6, but I got bored, so I left. The real fights don't start until floor 200. Oh, okay. Well, that just means I'll get to take on Hisoka sooner, Gon says in an excited and confident tone. When they enter Heaven's Arena, the boys waste little time setting up as many matches as possible so they can reach the 200th floor. While they wait for their next match, they see a boy about their age is also competing in the arena. Gon is excited to find another kid there, so he goes up and introduces himself. The boy introduces himself as Zushi and tells Gon and Killua he's been trying to get to the 200th floor for about 2 months and is currently on floor 120. Zushi is amazed when Gon and Killua tell him they're on floor 122, but they've only been trying for about 3 days. Zushi asks for a match to see how close he is to their strength, to which Killua agrees, saying it's been boring waiting around for a match. So why not? Zushi thanks Killua and takes him and Gon to meet his master so they can schedule a match as soon as possible. When they reach Zushi's sensei Wing, he inspects Killua, then warns Zushi that Killua is way out of his league. But if you want to challenge him, I'll respect your request. Of course, Zushi answers, even if I lose, this will be a great chance to push myself. So, with all parties agreed, Wing and Zushi go schedule the match, while Gon and Killua wait for the match to be announced. After scheduling the match, Wing speaks to Zushi, telling him, I want you to know that Killua knows Nin. I could sense it coming off him when I was analyzing his strength. Zushi nervously smiles. Yeah, I know. I could sense it too. That's why I wanted to fight one of them. They're the only other people under the 200th floor with Nin, so I can go all out. Right, Sensei? He asks Wing. I know I told you you have to reach the 200th floor without using Nin, but since he already learned how to use it, I'll allow it just for this match. You'll have to go all out just to keep up with him anyway. He is definitely stronger than you, but I doubt he has learned to handle his Nin as good as you have. So, when the time comes, Killua meets Zushi in the ring. Killua casually walks over to Zushi, until Zushi unleashes his aura, startling Killua and sending him back. I can't believe this guy knows Nin too, Killua thinks to himself. I know I should be way stronger than him, so why am I so worried? While Killua is thinking, Zushi tries unleashing a combo of attacks, but is still unable to land a hit on Killua, who unleashes an attack of his own, crumpling Zushi to the ground. Well, that should be enough, Killua says while walking away, assuming the match is over, until he hears Zushi telling the referee he's okay to continue the fight. Killua, again, runs at Zushi trying to end the fight as quickly as possible, but Zushi seems faster than he was earlier and is able to dodge Killua's attacks. So, the boys go back and forth, dodging each other's hits. Killua is clearly at a huge advantage, while Zushi still hasn't been able to land a hit on Killua. The more the fight drags on, Killua is starting to land more and more of his attacks on Zushi, who is now bruised and bloody. Killua pulls back for a final hit when Zushi lets out a huge wave of aura at Killua. This reminds Killua of his brother Illumi's aura, causing him to panic and give Zushi the chance to land a huge punch of his own, infused with all of his leftover Nin. The attack slams into Killua, flinging him across the ring, but he's able to barely absorb the hit without being sent out of bounds. But with Zushi's aura all used up, he falls to the ground unable to battle, allowing Killua to be victorious. Killua looks at the unconscious Zushi and is amazed he was able to increase his strength so much with his nin, but is also pissed he wasn't able to control his fear in the middle of battle. Wing enters the ring and carries Zushi to the medical center. While carrying him, he comforts his student, telling him he did a great job and how he really impressed him today. Gon also runs up to Killua and compliments him on beating Zushi. Good job, Killua. I know you would win, but I didn't think Zushi would be that strong. I kinda wish I fought him now. Killua thanks Gon for the compliment as they head to collect their prize money for the day, but is still obviously frustrated. What's wrong, Killua? Gon asks. Why aren't you happy? You won. Yeah, I won, but I should have been way out of his league. I let him get in my head. I don't know what happened. I just froze when he got serious. Gon answers back, yeah, that is kinda weird. I noticed you were really on edge while training, with the Phantom Troop too. I think you're just not used to feeling people's nin yet, but I'm sure it won't bother you after some more practice. I hope you're right, Killua says. Also, I think we should talk to Wing. I think Zushi was even better at controlling his nin than we are. So maybe Wing can help us get even better before you take on Hisoka. Yeah, that's a great idea, Killua. Let's go. So Gon and Killua go ask Wing for some extra nin training, and after seeing a quick demonstration from the both of them, he agrees to help in any way he can. First, he teaches them their nin types, telling Gon he's an enhancer and Killua is a transmuter. He also tells them that while their nin is very strong, they are using it very poorly. Wing explains that people like him and Zushi don't have much natural aura like Gon and Killua, and because of that, they have to be precise and use every bit efficiently. So, for the rest of their time trying to reach the 200th floor, Wing continues to fine-tune Gon and Killua's nin, giving them an even bigger boost now with them having greater control and general knowledge of their nin to go along with their already amazing power. The boys easily reach floor 200 in about a week, only taking their time because of Wing wanting them to focus more on training than clearing floors. And now that they have reached the 200th floor, Gon sets his sights on scheduling a match with Hisoka.
Gon and Killua exit the elevator and are greeted by 3 other nin users who have reached the 200th floor. The 3 men try intimidating the boys by flexing their aura, but are quickly stopped when Gon and Killua do the same. What? These kids are the real deal, the 3 men think to themselves, as Gon and Killua walk past them unfazed by their unimpressive aura. Hey, I'm not gonna let these kids show me up, one says out loud. He grabs Killua's shoulder, but Killua effortlessly breaks the man's hand and shoves him to the floor. We don't have time for small fries like you. We're looking for Hisoka, Killua says as he stares down the 3 men. What? They want to fight Hisoka? These kids are crazy, they all say as they run in the opposite direction. Nice job, Killua. I'm glad you didn't let those guys bother you. Huh, please, Killua replies. They had less aura than Zushi. I'm not going to let small fries like them bother me. They continue to the check-in counter, where they get the keys to their room and a cash reward for making it this far. Killua doesn't seem impressed, but Gon is ecstatic, saying he's never seen so much money, and asks the receptionist, "Can I send this to a different account?" "Sure, if you want to, kid." "Great," Gon says, and sends the money to his Aunt Mitu, with a message saying, "Thanks for taking care of me for so long. I don't know when I'll be back, but this should be more than enough for you and Grandma to leave Meteor City." Killua picks on Gon for being so sweet to his family, but Gon brushes it off. "Now, I'd like to schedule a fight with a man named Hisoka," Gon tells the clerk. "Sorry," she replies, "I can't do that." "Why not?" Gon asks. A voice from behind them says, "He already has a match, scheduled with me tomorrow." A tall, white-haired man named Castro informs them that tomorrow he gets Hisoka in a death match. "What?" Gon says, trying to hide his anger. "Yes, I fought Hisoka a few years ago, and he said he would only accept my challenge if it was a death match." "That's not fair," Gon says. "I came all this way just to fight him." Castro tries comforting Gon. "I'm sure he hurt you or embarrassed you, just like he did me. But He's way above your level, trust me, and I don't plan to die, so put your anger away and let it go. Maybe take comfort in the fact that I'll be fighting him for you as well. Gon scoffs, I don't need anyone to fight for my honor, and heads to his new suite. Killua follows Gon, asking, what's your plan now? We'll watch the match tomorrow, Gon says. Then we'll figure out how much more I need to train, and if we'll have time for a fight before Hisoka. Alright, Killua says. I feel kind of bad saying this, but I don't think that guy can beat Hisoka. He seemed too nice. Gon agrees as they both decide to go to sleep. So, after a night of rest, the boys wake up and buy tickets for Hisoka's match, and find their seat inside the arena. The announcer introduces Hisoka, who casually walks to the ring until he notices Gon and Killua in the crowd. He stops and smiles at Gon before waving hello. Gon stares down Hisoka until Castro is introduced and inside the ring. Castro yells out to Hisoka, are you ready to die for what you've done? Hisoka laughs. Sorry, who are you again? My memory's a little fuzzy. I'm not gonna fall for your tricks, Hisoka. If you don't take this serious, that's on you. Castro readies his aura and goes on the attack, using his martial arts skill to attack Hisoka, who easily matches Castro blow for blow. Gon and Killua are impressed with how fast the battle is, and how well the two men use their nin to defend and attack each other. The fight continues with Castro gaining an advantage when Hisoka appeared to let Castro cut his arm off. Unfortunately for him, this is just a ploy by Hisoka to understand Castro's nin ability. Castro has been using nin to create a clone of himself to help him attack Hisoka, and now that Hisoka understands the ability, he stops toying with Castro and uses bungee gum to reattach his arm, then quickly kills Castro using his playing cards like throwing knives. Hisoka bows to the crowd and winks at Gon, before leaving the ring victorious. After the match, Gon finds Hisoka's room and knocks on the door. Hisoka answers and is excited to see Gon, offering to let him inside so they can talk. No, Gon answered back, I'm just here to challenge you to a match. Really, Hisoka says, even after seeing what I did to the last guy, you still want to fight? Of course, Gon answers. I'm not afraid of you, and I told you, I'm going to get you back for not taking me seriously. I've trained a lot since the hunter exams, so do you accept or not? Why wouldn't I accept? If you think you're ready, I'll be happy to give you a chance. I used up all my matches for the month, so I can't fight for 3 more weeks. I suggest you take the time to train, or fight against someone else here, so you can see how different it is when your life is on the line. Gon extends his hand to Hisoka, asking if they have a deal. Hisoka smiles. Deal. I'll let them know that my next match will be against you in 3 weeks. Now get out of here before you start to annoy me. Hisoka warns Gon. One more thing, Gon tells Hisoka. Chrollo wants to meet up with you, so he'll be waiting in York New City. Wow, Hisoka replies. Is that who helped you get stronger? Maybe this won't be a waste of my time. You better not disappoint me, Gon, Hisoka says as he closes the door in Gon's face. Now that Gon has his fight with Hisoka, he continues his training with Wing, focusing on enhancing his strength and speed with Nin. He and Killua also schedule fights with high-ranked opponents in the 200th floor to test how much they've grown.
Gon and Killua trained by sparring with Wing and trying to use their aura as much as possible to strengthen their aura reserves. Also, due to how much they have advanced in such a short time, Wing has taken the first steps in helping them develop their own Hatsu. Gon has already thought of the basic idea for his Janjankin technique, but hasn't officially created it yet, having only focused on being able to charge the aura in his hand for a powerful strike. While Killua is still taking his time deciding what he should make, but mainly focusing on helping Gon get ready for Hisoka. Until Killua has his match with Revolt, where he learns about his high resistance to electricity. This leads to Killua wanting to learn how to control or create electricity with his Nin. So, even without a Nin technique, Killua easily wins his match and continues his training with his new goal in mind. Gon also wins his match easily, overpowering Gedo and his spinning tops. Gon is able to enhance his strength enough to easily break the tops in one hit, and then defeat the defenseless Nin user. With just a few days to go until Gon's match with Hisoka, Gon rests his body to full strength and gives his friend Krapka a call. Hey Krepka, how's it been going? Gon asks in a friendly tone. It's been good, Krepka tells him. I've just been training and trying to find any leads I can on the Phantom Troop. What about you, Gon? I've been training as well, but the main reason I called was because I found out some things about the Phantom Troop. Krepka is shocked, but contains himself long enough for Gon to explain how he ran into them and how he knows that they're going to be heading to York New City soon. Wow, this is great, Gon. Thank you for letting me know, Krepka tells him. Do you want to come meet me in York New City and help me take out the Phantom Troop? Gon thinks about the offer. That does seem fun, and I want to help out, but I don't know if I can. The Trope know my family, and I can't risk them getting hurt. But if I can help you without them knowing, that would be fine, Gon tells his friend. Thank you, Krepka tells Gon. I'll head over to York New City as soon as possible. Okay, Gon adds, me and Killua will go after we finish up in Heaven's Arena. Gon is a little worried about what will happen next with Krepka going after the Phantom Troop, but knows that he needs to focus on his upcoming battle with Hisoka first. So, the day arrives and Gon makes his way into the arena. He and Killua have been thinking of strategies together, so Gon is feeling more confident than he had expected as he stands in the ring waiting for Hisoka to arrive. As the announcers call out Hisoka's name, the crowd boos and yells at Hisoka, warning him not to kill Gon and calling him despicable for accepting this match. Hisoka stands in the ring, smiling and loving the hate the crowd is giving him. He turns to Gon, saying, "Wow, the crowd hasn't been this loud in a while. I hope we don't disappoint them." "I didn't come here for small talk," Gon tells Hisoka as he readies his stance. "I'm warning you, if you don't take this seriously, then I'll make you regret it." Hisoka laughs. "Okay, Gon, if you really want me to take you seriously, prove you deserve it." "Fine," Gon says, as he runs at Hisoka with everything he has, constantly coming inches away from hitting Hisoka, who is still easily dodging everything Gon is doing. Gon steps back after taking a few hits and tries to think of a different approach. Man, he's fast, Gon thinks to himself. But now that he thinks he knows my full strength, I'll trip him up by enhancing my speed. Gon gets ready for another attack when Hisoka pulls out a playing card, stopping Gon in his tracks. "What's wrong, Gon? You scared?" Hisoka asks. Gon yells back, "Stop screwing around, Hisoka." "Sorry, Gon, I'm just waiting for you to start, or was that really all you got?" Killua yells out to Gon, "Remember to stay calm." This helps Gon refocus and not lose his temper. Gon uses his nin to boost his strength and again rushes at Hisoka, who is still able to dodge his attacks, but is noticeably trying harder to do so. With Gon getting closer and closer to landing a hit on Hisoka, Hisoka slams Gon with a huge right hand to the face, sending him flying. This is also when Gon notices Hisoka has stuck him with bungee gum, making Gon unable to get far from Hisoka, who continues to taunt Gon. "You're trapped like a little mouse, Gon. What are you gonna do now?" Gon rushes to Hisoka and again tries landing his first attack. Hisoka grabs Gon's arms to stop his attacks. But Gon was ready for this and stomps both feet into the ground, lifting the floor tile in the air and catapulting Hisoka into the air. Hisoka is impressed by Gon's move and is distracted thinking about Gon's potential, which allows Gon to land a few strong hits to Hisoka before they fall to the ground. The crowd cheers for Gon, telling him to keep going and win the fight, but as he and Hisoka get to their feet, Gon sees that Hisoka's demeanor has changed. "I think he's getting serious," Gon tells himself as Hisoka uses his bungee gum to pull Gon closer and land another huge punch. Gon gets to his feet, and before Hisoka can pull him back for a second hit, he grabs the nin cord, tying him to Hisoka, and pulls as hard as he can to counter Hisoka. The two are now in a tug of war, trying to yank the other off the ground. Hisoka's eyes are wide as he calls out to Gon, "Come over here. You wanted to see me serious. Here I am. Fight me now, Gon," he yells as he pulls Gon closer and closer. Gon, knowing he can't outpull Hisoka, focuses his nin into his fist and punches the bungee gum cord. Hisoka is again impressed by Gon's creativity and strength as he is yanked off his feet by the sudden jerk from Gon. With Hisoka off his feet, Gon again pulls as hard as he can, sending Hisoka flying towards him. and with both his hands stuck to Hisoka's bungee gum, he focuses his nin to his head, and when Hisoka's close enough, blasts him with a headbutt, rattling both of their skulls and thudding throughout the arena. Gon falls to the ground and sees Hisoka laying on the floor. The judge looks at Hisoka and asks if he can continue, but there's no answer. Gon stands up, looks at the ref, waiting for him to call the match. A win by knockout. But Hisoka stands to his feet, bloody but smiling. "You really are amazing, Gon," Hisoka says, "but you still need to learn how to finish a fight." Before Gon can react, Hisoka rushes forward and grabs him by the throat. "This fight is over, Gon, and next time we fight, if you can't beat me, I will kill you." Hisoka slams Gon to the ground over and over again until he is knocked out. As Gon was losing consciousness, he was upset he lost, but happy, knowing Hisoka had to hit him as hard as he could to win. Gon wakes up in the hospital and sees Wing and Killua have been waiting for him to make sure he's okay. Wing is asleep in a nearby chair, but Killua springs up when he sees Gon awake. "Hey Gon, you did good out there." Gon laughs. "Really? Did it look like a good fight?" "Oh yeah," Killua assures him. "You can see that Hisoka really wanted to hurt you for sure." "So, what are you gonna do now?" Killua asks. "Well, Hisoka said next time we fight he would kill me, so I'm gonna have to get stronger for sure. But while we're doing that, we should meet up with Krapka in York New City. I think he needs our help." Killua seems excited to go anywhere, so they agree that when Gon is healed, they will fly to York New City. Killua also tells Gon he won a lot of money on the fight between him and Hisoka. Gon looks at Killua a bit disappointed. "What, you bet against me to win?" "No," Killua tells him. "I bet all my money that you would survive the fight. Everyone knew you would lose, but everyone assumed he would kill you. But I knew you'd be okay." Gon laughs. "Okay, that's fine, but I get half the money since you were betting on me, right?" "I guess that's fair," Killua tells him. "But I'll give it to you when we get to York New City." So, as they wait for Gon to heal, they both thank Wing for teaching them more about Nin and say goodbye to Zushi, promising to see them again one day. But while Gon and Killua are on the move, so are the Phantom Troop, as they get ready for a big job in York New City, not knowing that Krapka was already setting a trap for them. As Gon and Killua make their way to York New City, Krapka has already started setting a trap for the Phantom Troop members. Thanks to Gon telling him they would be there soon, Krapka comes to the conclusion that if the Phantom Troop are going to York New City, it has to be to rob a huge auction being held in a few weeks. So, just like in the anime, Krapka becomes a bodyguard in the Mafia so he can be at the auction waiting for the Phantom Troop to attack. He also informs the Mafia bosses that the troop will most likely attack the auction, so they should buff up their security as much as possible. While this is going on, the Phantom Troop are also readying their own plan. Frollo's plan is still to sneak into the auction and switch out the real items with the fake ones, then resell them for their own profit. He has also hired Illumi to kill several Mafia bosses who are organizing the event. But because of Krapka's warning, the Mafia bosses move the auction date up in the hopes of avoiding the Phantom Troop. This forces Krapka and the troops' plan to be rushed before all the preparations can be made. So, when Gon and Killua reach York New City, the auction is scheduled to be held in 3 days. Gon and Killua meet up with Krapka and tell each other about what they have missed since they last met up, and while talking, Krapka tells Gon about the copy of Greed Island being sold in the auction, and how it's a game made by his father Ging and other Nin users. Gon decides to try and buy the copy, hoping it can help him find his dad. But he promises to help Krapka first. The three boys spend the day helping the other bodyguards get ready, until Killua sees a familiar face. It seems that the Mafia bosses has also contacted Killua's family to take out the Phantom Troop leader, Crollo. Killua is shocked to see his father watching him from across the room. Killua is instantly worried as his father Silva walks towards him. Killua points out to Gon that that's his dad, setting Gon on edge. Gon is about to yell at Silva to leave Killua alone, but Killua stops him, telling Gon that he needs to talk to his dad. "So, Killua," Silva says, "why didn't you come home with Illumi?" Killua gathers his courage, telling his dad, "I want to be with my friend, and not under your control all the time. All my life I've had to just sit in our house, following all your rules, and I'm tired of it." Silva is quiet for a moment, then says, "I can tell you've gotten stronger since you left. Is that because of your friend?" Well, yeah, Killua tells him. We've been training together, and we found a lot of good teachers together. Silva tells Killua, I had a phase in my life where I traveled the world, fighting and meeting new people, so I understand how you feel. But you're the next leader of the Zoldyck family, not Illumi or any of your other brothers. You are the most gifted child of mine, so I just want you to be safe and not waste that potential. But I can also see how much stronger this has made you, so I will allow you to continue traveling with your friend, for now. Really? Killua asked, happily surprised with his father's decision. Yes, Killua, but I also want to show you your potential, so you're going to be with me for the next few days, watching how I handle things. Killua agrees and thanks his father for allowing him to continue his journey with Gon. Then, as he walks back to Gon, tells him the good news before heading off again with his father. While Killua is training with his dad, Gon is learning about Krapka's nin ability and how he made his Hatsu specifically to catch the spider, and adding this limit increased its strength. Gon uses this idea to finalize his idea for Janjanken and spends the next few days practicing it until it's time for the auction. The auction begins with everyone in position. Krapka is with the other bodyguards, standing watch around the auction house. Killua, Silva, and his grandfather Zeno are searching for Crollo, and Gon is in the stands, watching for the Phantom Trope, but also bidding to get Greed Island with the money Killua gave him and his payment for being an undercover bodyguard. As the auction continues with nothing going on, they all wait for any sign of the Phantom Troop. Gon is able to buy the copy of Greed Island, but when he tries to collect the game, he sees a member of the troop and another member telling him he can't collect the game until later. Gon calmly sits back down, but sends a message to Krapka, warning him that at least some of the troop members are already in the building. Krapka quickly tells everyone else what's going on, and everyone jumps into action. Kuratopi and Pakunada are quickly apprehended by several bodyguards and mafia members. Franklin, Finks, and Nobunaga fight off the other bodyguards and let Shalnart, Shizuku, and Bono Lenovo escape with what they were able to steal. And while Uvagin is trying to find Crollo, Krapka lures him from the auction house to an abandoned building so they can fight. Also, while Crollo was trying to catch up with his team members, he is caught by Silva, Zeno, and Killua. Silva tells Crollo this isn't personal, just a job like any other, as he gets ready to fight. Silva also warns Killua to stay back, but watch carefully, because this fight's between two nin masters. Silva stares down Crollo, who smiles back as if talking to an old friend. Well, I'm glad you brought your family to help you out, Silva. It will make my legacy even stronger when people find out it took 3 members of the Zoldyck family to take me down, Crollo says in an excited tone. Silva laughs at Crollo, telling him, this fight will be just between us. Zeno's only here to keep Killua safe. Oh really? Crollo calls back. Well, I'm looking forward to teaching Killua again. I just hope he can keep up this time. As Crollo finishes his sentence, Silva rushes forward, landing a powerful strike on Crollo. Wow, he's strong, Crollo thinks, as he readies himself to block the next attack. This one sends Crollo flying, as Silva stands his ground. Killua looks on amazed that his dad seemed to be easily overpowering Crollo. Killua thinks to himself, Crollo seems to be calm, still, I wonder what he could be planning. Crollo stands up and is met by Silva, emitting a huge energy wave, forcing him to stay on the move and stopping him from getting closer to Silva. Again, while Killua watches, he's trying to learn as much as he can, hoping to finalize his own powerful nin technique. Finally, Crollo makes enough space to summon his book, Bandit's Secrets, and summons a stolen ability, Fun Cloth. Silva stops his assault, not knowing what the cloth can do, so he cautiously assesses the situation. Crollo tells Silva, I just stole this ability tonight and I want to test it out. Angered at Crollo's overconfidence, Silva goes back on the attack. I'll fight just out of that rag's range and strike when I know I can hit him. They again trade attacks back and forth, Crollo dodging Silva's punches and Silva avoiding Crollo's claw. Until Silva takes his chance and launches 2 huge nin orbs at Crollo, who knows he can't avoid them. Just before they reach him, he shields his body with the cloth and completely catches them inside of it until they seemingly disappear. Crollo then turns to Killua, telling him, you see, it's not about who's the biggest or the strongest, it's about how smart you are and how you use your abilities to gain advantages. Crollo places his bookmark inside the book, closing it to free up his hands to fight as Silva again closes the distance. Zeno tells Killua, "Your father wants this to be a fist fight where he has the advantage in strength, and I'm guessing in skill also. But Crollo is holding his own, and your father is starting to fight seriously." Silva's fast, hard-hitting combos are almost too much for Crollo, who is using all his focus to dodge the attacks while still keeping an eye on Zeno just in case. Crollo is also taking more damage than Silva, who has almost gone untouched throughout the battle. As they go back and forth, Crollo is able to pull out his knife and land a decent slash on Silva. Finally, he let his guard down enough for me to poison him. Hopefully it'll be over soon, he thinks to himself. Silva seems to ignore it completely. I'm sure his blade was poisoned, but I'm sure I've trained with stronger poisons before. Even if it slows me down a little, it won't hurt me much. Silva dodges more knife attacks and disarms Crollo, leading to another huge punch, sending Crollo flying. Silva leaps into the air, trying to end the fight, when Crollo again pulls out the cloth, and to Silva's surprise, opens it up to reveal the Nin Blast from earlier, then sends it flying at Silva, blasting him and sending him across the room. Killua seems worried now and looks to Zeno for comfort, who is also slightly worried as he calls out to Silva, asking if he's okay. Silva slowly rises to his feet, glaring at Crollo, and tells Zeno not to worry about him. He then tells Killua to pay attention, it's about to get serious. Crollo begins to charge his Nin to the max. Killua sees energy sparking off his father as Crollo seems to be worried for the first time in the fight. With Crollo focused now solely on Silva, Zeno finally attacks, summoning a Nin Dragon and sending it after Crollo. He tells Killua, "This is why you need to have someone to watch your back. There's no such thing as a fair fight to the death." The dragon bites Crollo and pins him to the wall. Silva leaps into the air, ready to kill Crollo, when a dark aura is felt throughout the room, and Silva is forced to address it. "As much as I hate to interrupt this fight, I'm afraid I can't let you kill Crollo." Zeno and Killua look over to see Hisoka standing in the doorway, ready to fight. Zeno stands in front of Killua as Hisoka walks over to Crollo and helps him to his feet. "We have no business with you, Hisoka," Silva calls out. "That's true, but I wouldn't be a good spider if I let you kill Crollo." "So, if you want him, you'll have to take on me as well," Hisoka tells them, thinking to himself, "And I'm not letting anyone kill Crollo before me." Crollo smiles. "Thanks, Hisoka, but I still had a few tricks up my sleeve." "Good," Hisoka replies. "I can't wait to see them for myself." Silva tells Killua to get out of here while he can, assuring Killua he and Zeno can handle this from here. Killua nods his head, then runs out to find Gon before round 2 of the fight can begin. Crollo tosses Hisoka his knife, warning him that the Zoldycks are going to fight long range. Hisoka thanks him and uses his bungee gum to hold the knife like a whip to defend himself. Crollo rushes at Zeno to stop his long-range Nin attack, while Hisoka uses his Nin whip and knife to keep Silva on the move. Both Phantom Troop members pressure the Zoldycks with fast-paced attacks as Silva begins to feel the effects of the poison more and more. He warns Zeno that the poison seems to be affecting his aura reserves, making it harder for him to use his Nin, and Hisoka is leaving no opening for counterattacks. He's even been able to land a few more scratches on Silva, infecting him with even more poison from Crollo's blade. And with Zeno's older age affecting his stamina and speed, he can't keep up with Crollo much longer, but he lands a strong enough hit to stun Crollo long enough to summon his Nin Dragon. But instead of hitting Crollo, he moves back and forth and sends it towards Hisoka, cutting the cord connected to his knife and giving Silva a chance to rush forward and land several strong hits on Hisoka. Then, Zeno sends his dragon back to Crollo, swinging momentum into the Zoldyck's favor. Or, so he thought, until he noticed he walked into Hisoka's trap and is now stuck in bungee gum, unable to move his feet. Silva lunges forward to protect his father from the 2 Phantom Troop members, but as he stands there, Crollo and Hisoka are gone, using the distraction to escape into the night. Silva pulls Zeno from the bungee gum and angrily asks if they should chase after them. Zeno warns him not to, since they could just ambush them with more troop members. Silva listens to his father's words, but tells Zeno that the next time they fight with Crollo, it will be personal. "We can't let anyone escape the Zoldycks." A few blocks away from the auction house, Crollo thanks Hisoka for assisting him, telling him, "Finally it paid off you always being late, and I'm glad you were willing to escape with me. I thought you would just keep fighting." Yeah, I suppose so, Hisoka says with a fake laugh. I know Illumi would be upset if I killed anyone in his family. Also, as a spider I can't let my leader get killed. Or can I? Hisoka teases. Chrollo ignores Hisoka and orders him to meet up at the hideout with the other troop members. They both make their way to the hideout, unaware that Uvagin is having trouble in his fight with Krapka. While Chrollo was having his fight with Silva, Uvagin was taking on Krapka, who has specialized his Nin ability to defeat any Phantom Troop member. And, after a quick battle, Krapka is able to subdue Uvagin with his chain, allowing him to try and get information about the other members. But, before he can get his question answered, several bodyguards and Mafia members arrive on the scene to take Uvagin into custody. Krapka helps transport Uvagin to a special location where the Mafia holds anyone who bothers them. When he is tied down and subdued for questioning, along with the other two captured troop members, Pokunata and Koroptopi. While Krapka and the others continue their questions, Gon and Killua say goodbye to Silva and Zeno. Silva tells Killua to be careful, but keep getting stronger. I know you can be the greatest assassin in our family one day, if you keep applying yourself. Thanks, Killua tells him. I won't let you down. Silva also turns to Gon, telling him to look out for Killua, as well as keep pushing him to get stronger. Gon nods his head in agreement as Zeno and Silva fly off back to the Zoldik's mansion. Gon then tells Killua about the copy of Greed Island he bought and that he has an extra memory card since he got one for buying the game, and his Aunt Mitu sent a box of Ging's old things, which also had a memory card. Gon then asks, "Do you want to play it with me once we finish helping Krapka?" "Of course," Killua says. "I can't wait. I'm sure it'll be fun." Killua also asks Gon if he can practice a new move he's been working on. "Yeah," Gon says. "I'm excited to see what you thought of." Back in the interrogation room, Krapka has realized Uvagin isn't saying anything, so he decides to start interrogating Pokunata. Krapka tries finding their hideout or what abilities they have, anything like that, but she isn't cracking. She is, however, able to get information about him, using her secret Nin ability to read Krapka's memories, finding out his Nin ability and how it works, how he beat Uvagin and that Gon and Killua helped him with his plan. She does this all without Krapka knowing anything. So with this information, she forms a plan to escape and get as much information back to the troop. Krapka assumes he won't be able to get any information from her either and decides to try Koroptopi. But the Mafia bosses tell Krapka that Koroptopi died while they were interrogating them. They also didn't get any answers. Krapka asks what they should do now, and they tell him they plan to torture Uvagin next, so hopefully he will talk. "Don't waste your time," Krapka warns them. "Nobody's talking." "Maybe not," they say, "but the boss wants us to try regardless." Krapka leaves them to their work and goes to find Gon and Killua. But before he can do that, he uses his hunter's license to go to the official hunter site and get in contact with Hisoka and set up a meeting. So, as the Mafia bosses try interrogating Uvagin, they aren't careful enough, and he is able to kill them and escape. As he is leaving, he finds Koroptopi's dead body, then Pokunata still alive. He releases her as she explains what she found out about Krapka. Uvagin tells her, "I'm going after the chain guy again. I just got surprised and I didn't take him seriously. This time will be different. And while I destroy that kid, you go tell the boss what you found." Pokunata agrees and grabs a disguise and sneaks out of the building, while Uvagin rushes to find Krapka, who is currently talking to Killua after his training session with Gon. Killua is explaining that Gon just left when Uvagin bursts through the room. Krapka pushes Killua out of the way as Uvagin rushes towards them, slamming Krapka out of the room and into the streets. Uvagin looks at a terrified Killua, warning him to stay out of the fight, or else he'll die too, then follows after Krapka. Killua sees Uvagin going after his friend, but he's too afraid to help Krapka. He tries to move his body, but he's unable to, and only able to hear his family's training in his head. If someone is stronger than you, run away. Never try to fight someone you have no chance of beating. So, Killua stands frozen, watching the fight between Krapka and Uvagin. Krapka stands up and heals his wounds, as Uvagin screams out, "I won't let you get an easy win this time. I'll keep an eye on those chains and we'll see if you can win." Uvagin rushes Krapka, who is able to enhance his body enough to dodge the attacks and fight back, but he is still tired from using his Emperor Time ability earlier, so he's weaker than in the first fight. Krapka tries using his chain again to catch Uvagin, but every time Uvagin is ready to avoid it and punishes Krapka for trying. Killua is still watching from the room. wishing Gon or someone would come and help Krapka, but he knows Gon left earlier to go get some food and won't be back anytime soon. Killua's head is pounding as he tells himself to do something. Why won't my body listen? What's wrong with me, he thinks, as he sees Krapka taking more and more damage. Krapka tries to heal his wounds, but Uvogin leaves no openings to do so, constantly attacking and keeping Krapka moving. Killua gathers all his nin, but nothing works to calm his fear, as he still hears his brother's words, "Run, you can't win, Killua." When finally he realizes he can sense his brother's nin inside him, Killua places his hand on his head, and his brother's words get louder. "You're weak, Killua, run." But he finally finds it, and pulls a needle from his head, and is shocked. This must be one of Illumi's nin needles. Has he been manipulating me this whole time? How long has this been here, he thinks. But the words in his head has stopped, and he takes a step forward, still afraid, but able to fight. Uvogin has grabbed Krapka and is taunting him for being so weak, as he twists Krapka's wrist so he can't use his chains. He yells out, "Get ready to die, kid," when a sudden shock hits his whole body, paralyzing him momentarily. Killua uses his new nin ability and tases Uvogin and grabs Krapka, moving him to safety. Krapka quickly heals what damage he can and thanks Killua. "No problem," Killua replies. "Let's beat this guy." Uvogin laughs. "Huh, you're still not enough, kid. That electricity's cute, but it can't cause any real damage. I warned you. Now you're gonna die, just like your friend here." Uvogin rushes forward, and Krapka and Killua both jump to different sides, Killua using his rhythm echo to confuse Uvogin as Krapka tries fighting with his chains. Uvogin and Krapka fight back and forth as Killua constantly annoys Uvogin with fake attacks and quick hits to keep him on edge, until he has charged up his electricity enough to tase him again. He rushes forward as Uvogin tries hitting him, but only hits his rhythm echo copy. Killua punches Uvogin with a huge electric blast, paralyzing him again and giving Krapka enough time to use his judgment chain on Uvogin. "Checkmate," Krapka says, as Uvogin knows he is beaten again. I'll ask one last time for any information on the troop, warning Uvogin that if his request is denied, he would die. Uvogin laughs. "You don't get it. It doesn't matter if I die as long as the spiders live. You can go to hell, kid, and if you keep messing with the troop, I'll see you there soon." Judgment Chain hits Uvogin's heart, killing him instantly as Krapka's eyes turn to normal and he falls to the ground. Killua helps Krapka up and takes him inside for medical treatment, and then tries to call Gon. Gon is sitting in a restaurant waiting for his food when he sees a blonde woman run past the window. That's Pokunada, Gon thinks. This could be bad. Gon follows after her, hoping to stop her before she reaches the troop's hideout. Gon follows behind Pokunada, slowly getting closer, when she suddenly stops. Crap, she found me, Gon thinks as Pokunada turns around, gun drawn. "Why are you following me?" she asks as she looks at Gon. Gon tries playing it cool, thinking, I don't know what she knows yet, so hopefully I won't have to fight her. "Hey Pokunada, what are you doing here?" Pokunada keeps her gun pointed at Gon, while saying, "I'm going to see Krollo so I can tell him everything." Gon takes a deep breath and asks her to put the gun down, so they can talk. But Pokunada refuses, telling Gon, "This is your fault. You helped that kid with the chains set up everything. You almost got me and Krollo killed. Krotopi did die. I'm going to tell Krollo everything, and he'll make you pay for betraying the troop." Gon tells her, "I don't have anything against the troop, but you all hurt my friend, and he asked for help. That matters to me more than a bunch of criminals doing whatever they want without caring for who they hurt." Gon takes another deep breath and squares his fist to Pokunada. "I'm sorry, I can't let you go back to Krollo." Pokunada calls out, "You think you can beat me, kid? I'm not the strongest troop member for sure, but I won't lose to you." Pokunada starts firing at Gon, who dashes forward to close the distance between them. Gon dodges the first bullet, but the second and third hit him, one in his left arm and one grazes his side. Gon continues rushing forward and tries to punch Pokunada. Pokunada responds by quickly bashing Gon with her revolver, forcing him out of his attack range. Pokunada continues shooting at Gon, forcing him to duck behind a car for cover. All the civilians are scared by the gunshots and run away as Pokunada shoots the rest of her bullets at Gon. Gon starts thinking of a plan while Pokunada taunts him, saying, "You're just giving me time to reload now. Are you regretting starting this fight already?" Gon grabs the car door and uses all his strength to pull it off the car. He then uses it like a shield and runs at Pokunada. Pokunata shoots all her bullets at Gon, but he's still coming at her. She doesn't have time to reload, so she kicks the door as hard as she can, staggering Gon, but still not stopping him. He tosses the door aside and lands a solid hit on Pokunata, who was hoping to reload before Gon could strike. She falls back, thinking, wow, he's really strong, I might be in trouble. As she flips back on her feet, Gon again lands another punch, sending her back to the ground. Gon tries charging his nin so he can land an even stronger attack, but Pokunata throws a knife his way, forcing him to dodge and lose his charge. She then tries using her height and reach to her advantage, kicking at Gon with surprising skill and force. Gon is able to block most of the kicks, but the ones that land definitely hurt Gon. Pokunata also reloads while keeping Gon away with her powerful kicks, until Gon is able to grab her leg and sling her into the parked car from earlier. She slams into the car, and before she has much time to think, Gon is already back on the attack, leaping towards her with his nin charged punch. She raises her gun and fires a few bullets at Gon. She misses the first 2 shots before she is able to land the last one and hits Gon's stomach. Gon feels the pain but doesn't let it stop him and is still coming at Pokunata. Seeing that Gon isn't stopping, Pokunata barely rolls out of the way as Gon's fist crashes through the road, leaving a hole where Pokunata was sitting. He's really not scared to kill me, I'm going to have to take him seriously, she tells herself. Pokunata raises her gun at the dust cloud, but can't see Gon, and as the cloud disappears, Gon is nowhere to be seen. Where did that brat go, she thinks. I can't be here much longer or the cops will show up. Pokunata starts walking towards the car, assuming Gon is hiding under it. Without getting too close, she looks under the car but sees nothing. He has to be hiding his presence, but where could he have gone? He can't be that fast. Pokunata continues looking around until she feels a huge ore spike behind the car. She turns around, telling herself he must have been hiding in the foot of the car. She pulls out her gun and has it aimed at the ready. He's going to come at me again with all that aura built up, but I won't miss him this time. All that aura is just a target for me to aim at. As soon as he shows himself, I'll end it. The aura continues to build up as Pokunata calmly waits for her chance. Finally, she hears Gon say, then Pokunata feels another big aura spike. What is this kid trying, she thinks, as her hands start to shake. Then Gon hits the car with his Janjunkin, sending it flying towards Pokunata, slamming into her at full force. Gon is exhausted from using all that aura, but still runs over to check on Pokunata. He can't see her, but he knows she's under the car, and says, I'm sorry, Pokunata, I couldn't let you put my friends and family in danger. Then slowly walks away, knowing he had won the fight. Gon finds his phone laying on the ground and sees that Killua has been calling him this whole time. He answers, and a concerned Killua tries telling him what happened with Uvagin and that Pokunata escaped. Gon stops Killua, telling him, I already took care of Pokunata, but I'm pretty hurt and I need some help. Killua heads over with some other bodyguards to pick up Gon so they can take him to a doctor, just like Kurapika. After a few hours, Gon wakes up and sees Kurapika laying in a hospital bed next to him. Killua scolds Gon for not answering his phone the first time, then tells Gon about the fight with Uvagin. He also explains the heavy toll for Kurapika's powers and that he might not wake up for a while. Gon apologizes to Killua, but assures him that they will both be fine, and that the troop won't find out what happened. Whatever you say, Gon, but you know they're smart, they might already suspect something, so we'll just have to be careful. As the boys continue talking, Kurapika wakes up and asks what happened. Killua once again explains everything, but for Kurapika this time. Kurapika is happy that Gon was able to stop Pokunata and tells them he set up a meeting with Hisoka. The boys are shocked and ask why he's with the Phantom Troop. Killua tells them that Hisoka really just wants to fight Chrollo and doesn't care about the spiders. He's willing to help Kurapika take out the spiders if Kurapika helps him get a fair fight with Chrollo. But I'll need time to recover and make some more plans. I still don't know if the troop will go looking for me or hang low for a while they build up their strength. But I want to thank you both for helping me with this. I got some revenge and that's enough for now. I couldn't have done it without you guys. So, with most of the excitement done, Gon and Killua ready themselves to play Greed Island, while Hisoka and Kurapika begin their own plans to take out Chrollo and the rest of the troop. Chrollo also orders the Phantom Troop to scatter for now, but promises he will get revenge for Uvagin, Pokunata, and Koritopi. Chrollo also sets off to find 3 new members for the troop, Gon and Killua arrive in Greed Island, where they are informed about the game rules and how to win. They must collect all 100 restricted cards by completing missions and tasks on the island, something no one has been able to do so far. So, Gon and Killua go about collecting the cards just like in the anime, until they meet Bisky, a seemingly small young girl that starts following them around out of curiosity. Then, after seeing them as weak for not being able to kill the monsters around the play area without each other's help, she offers to be their new master and train them. The boys accept when she tells them she was the one who trained Wing. Bisky tests out how well they can control their basic nin abilities, and is rather impressed by them having such good control over the basics. She compliments how well Wing trained them, but also brags that she's basically responsible for it since she trained Wing in the first place. This is around the time they are attacked by the killer Benoit. Bisky knows that either of the boys can beat him, but decides to let them practice their Hatsus on him. So, Gon and Killua take turns fighting Benoit using their nin abilities. Gon works on his Kin, learning how to use scissors and paper, along with mastering rock. And Killua perfects his control of electricity, learning how to better charge himself up and waste less energy and nin. Benoit is constantly beaten and then healed by Bisky, until he is so far below the boys' fighting level it's pointless to continue. But he promises to turn himself into the police if they let him go, saying getting beaten like this every day is worse than jail. Bisky agrees to let Benoit go, but not until Gon threatens to track him down and kill him if he doesn't follow through with his word. So, after further developing their new techniques, Bisky tries to perfect all their basic nin abilities, using various challenges and methods she used in the anime, causing the boys to grow even stronger, well above their strength at the start of the Chimera Ant arc. After completing all of Bisky's training exercises, everyone is confident that the three of them can find all the remaining cards, so they each split up on their own adventure. Gon goes exploring the land and hidden areas, fighting monsters in various boss challenges, collecting cards and valuable items, while Killua goes to find tournaments and games so he can win as many cards as he can. He also wins cards by betting and battling other players. And finally, Bisky goes town to town, gathering information about cards locations for Gon and Killua, while picking up any cards she comes across along the way. Before long, the group become well known in the game as people begin hearing how close they are to collecting all 100 cards. This is also when the bombers begin making their plan to steal all of Gon's cards so they can win the game for themselves. Gon and Killua have heard of rumors about the bombers killing people for cards, but thanks to their newfound strength and Bisky assuring them they should be stronger than most people in the game, they haven't felt worried about the bomber coming after them. Despite this, they still decide to meet back up to try and find the location of the last 5 or so cards they need. They meet in a heavily populated town looking for the Plot of Beach card. While they discuss what to do, they are contacted by another group of players who were attacked by the bombers and want to set up a meeting with Gon, Killua, and Bisky. Gon and Bisky accept, but Killua is skeptical, saying they could just be trying to set us up, and I'm sure we can get the rest of the cards and deal with the bombers by ourselves. Bisky interrupts Killua, telling him how no one has ever found the Plot of Beach card, and that having someone to help them out could be beneficial. Killua and Bisky argue back and forth, with Killua pointing out, well, can at least one of us stay back in case it is a trap, so they can't steal our cards? Bisky reluctantly agrees that is a good idea, but wonders who should sit out. Gon quickly joins the conversation, asking if he can be the one to not attend the meeting. Bisky and Killua are surprised and ask him why he would volunteer. Gon tells them it's kind of embarrassing, but the hunter exams are soon and, well, I wanted to go back and get my license, but didn't want to bother you guys. But if we need to keep our cards safe, I can log out for now and then nobody would be able to take them. Killua laughs. You should have told me, of course you can retake the exams. I completely forgot about that. It's kind of my fault you didn't get your license anyway, Killua says, remembering how Gon stopped Illumi and saved him despite knowing he would be disqualified. Bisky agrees, telling Gon that would help him track down his father, and as long as he doesn't take too long, it's fine. Thank you, Gon says, as he readies himself to leave Greed Island for the first time in months. So, while Killua and Bisky meet up with the new group of players, Gon retakes the hunter's exam. Because he made it to the final round, he was given the exact location and time to be, and shows up right on time. He waits for the hunter exam judge to show up and tell everyone to follow him to the next room. Gon knows he doesn't want to take the full exam, so much like Killua in the anime, he decides to speed up the process. He goes to the front of the room and tells them, "My name is Gon, and I took the exam last year. I would have passed, but I got disqualified for attacking someone I shouldn't have." Now, I don't have time to take the exam this year, but I still need to pass, so I'm not letting anyone through this door. You can leave now or try to get past me. It's up to you. Several of the examinees laugh at Gon, thinking he's just a kid acting tough, and try walking by him. But they are quickly taken out with one punch and left unconscious on the floor. Several more examinees jump up, claiming he can't stop us all. Let's get this kid. Then rush forward. Gon charges up his Kin, stopping everyone in their tracks. He tells them that this is your last chance to leave, or come at me. All the would-be hunters run away, scared by Gon's merciless aura. The hunter, who was supposed to be guiding them, came running back, also feeling Gon's intense aura, and asked what happened. Gon calms himself down and answers, "I guess I scared them all away. So, if it's just me, do I pass the exam?" The hunter laughs and calls for Netero to come and see this. When Netero arrives, he is pleased to see Gon, but asks where all the others are. Gon tells him, "I told them to get lost. So, did I pass this time?" Netero laughs. "You certainly have gotten a lot stronger in this last year. I knew you would be back, so I already had your license ready for you." Gon thanks Netero and tells him, "Sorry, but I have to leave. I have an important mission to go on," as he runs out with his new hunter license. Netero again praises Gon for how much he has grown, then tells the other hunter the exam is over. So, Gon rushes back to Greed Island while Killua and Bisky form an alliance with two other new groups, promising to make sure one of them win and the bombers are taken out. With Gon, Killua, and Bisky now a part of a 3-team group, they continue their search for the last few cards. They know that the teams they're working with have at least 2 of the cards they need, and 1 card is part of an in-game event that takes place only after someone collects 99 unique cards. They also assume with all the cards the bombers have stolen that they have at least one of the missing cards. With this knowledge, they decide that once they find the last card not owned by anyone, they will go after the bombers. Then, when the bombers are taken out, the other team will give Gon the rest of the cards he needs. So, as the 3 teams look for the Plot of Beast card, they trigger the event to challenge Razor and his pirates. Due to them being stronger than they were in the anime, Razor wastes little time before changing the challenge to the dodgeball game. He does warn them to get a few more strong players, because with their current team they would definitely lose. So, with this, Gon and Bisky find the strongest players they can, offering them in-game money and other rare cards they have a few extra copies of. Also, since Krollo never lost his Nin in the York New arc, Hisoka isn't on the island to help the troop, so unfortunately Hisoka won't be around to help them. But, in their quest for a strong player, they find a player named Ginthru, who offers to help for some extra cards. With this team, they take on Razor and his Nin clones. In the coolest game of dodgeball I've ever seen. Much of the game is still the same, with most of the other players being fodder compared to Razor and the main contributors being Gon, Killua, Bisky, and Ginthru, who spend most of their time dodging, and Bisky is even forced to use her larger form to stand a chance against Razor and his powerful throws. But that is still not enough to win, so Gon is forced to use the same strategy he used in the anime. He asks Killua to hold the ball while he uses Kin, but with the extra power he has after all the extra training, Razor is unable to block it without using most of his aura and is pushed out of bounds. Unfortunately, Razor calls back and has one more chance, and the ball in his court. Razor blasts the ball at Gon, feeling he's the only one to worry about, and as it flies to him, Bisky sacrifices herself so Gon isn't eliminated. So, with the ball back in Gon's hands, he has one last chance to eliminate Razor and win. So, Gon charges up as long as he can and sends the ball rocketing towards Razor. In preparation for this, Razor releases all 14 of his Nin Devils, so he has full access to his aura, and when the ball comes, he is barely able to deflect it back at Gon, who is too tired to move, and the ball is coming too fast for him to dodge. Killua pushes Gon out of the way, most likely saving Gon's life, as the ball heads towards Ginthru. Ginthru panics, knowing he can't dodge or catch the ball, so he is forced to save himself when an explosion from his hands, knocking the ball to the ground without it touching him. This gives Gon teams the final elimination they need, and access to the Plot of Beast card. As the team celebrates, Razor compliments Gon on growing stronger and tells him he's ready to meet his father Ging. Razor explains how the game is actually on an island in the real world, and that if he wins the game, he can bring 3 cards with him outside the game world. So, if he uses an accompany card, he would be able to transport to Ging's location. Gon is excited and thanks Reza for telling him what he could, and for helping him get stronger before meeting Ging. After this, they all leave to go retrieve the plotted beach card, but when they go to get the card, it's already been accepted by someone else. They find out that Ginthru has already left and taken the cards for himself. As this happens, several members of the team helping Gon explode and are instantly killed. "What the hell's going on?" Killua calls out, as Gon stands speechless. Bisky is the first to answer. "Ginthru must be the bomber." "What?" Killua says. "Think about it, we made a public call for strong people, and he just accepts. Then the team that's been hunting the bomber explodes after our card is stolen. Also, I was a bit suspicious when Ginthru used that explosive nin ability, and I guess I should have trusted my instincts," Bisky says. Gon is shaking with anger, and says he's gonna pay for this. That coward could have fought us for our cards, but he has to hide and sneak around like this. Now we know who he is, and we can find him with an accompany card, and when we do find him, I'm gonna kill him, just like he did to all these innocent people. Bisky and Killua agree, saying at the very least, they have most of the cards we need, so we have to get them back. Bisky helps Gon and Killua come up with a plan over the next few days so they can get one-on-one fights. So, when the time comes, they all use a company to teleport to Ginthru and his accomplices. Ginthru is surprised that they are willing to fight one-on-one and agrees, especially since Gon called him out and he believes he can easily defeat a kid. So, they all go their separate ways and start their battles. Gon rushes Ginthru, who is surprised by Gon's speed, but is still able to keep up with them as they trade blows back and forth. Gon is careful not to let Ginthru grab him and use his little flower explosion. As they go back and forth, Ginthru is beginning to worry, noticing he doesn't have as much an advantage as he thought, and the look in Gon's eyes is putting him on edge. Ginthru is getting desperate and tries lunging at Gon with both hands, but Gon quickly hops back out of range and powers up Kin. Ginthru tries to quickly get back to his feet, knowing how strong this move is after seeing it in the dodgeball game, but Gon still lands a strong punch to Ginthru's face. Unfortunately, he couldn't charge it long enough to end the fight, but it still does significant damage. Ginthru flies back, only able to stay conscious because he focused all his nin into protecting himself. Ginthru tries running away, fearing for his life, but Gon keeps coming after him. Ginthru tries begging for his life and offering all his cards in exchange for being let go, but Gon isn't listening. Gon begins to charge up another Kin attack to Ginthru's horror, and as Gon was about to finish him off, Ginthru passes out and falls to the floor. Gon laughs. How pathetic is this guy? Gon stops his attack and goes to collect Ginthru's cards, thinking at least him being in jail will be a better punishment than just dying. But as he gets closer, Ginthru leaps forward and grabs Gon's left arm, blowing it up with his little flower bomb, heavily damaging it. Gon yells out in pain from the unexpected attack, but quickly goes back to his fighting stance. But now, unable to fully use his arm, Gon is at a disadvantage. Ginthru, now as cocky as ever, starts slowly picking Gon apart, laughing along the way. "You're too soft, kid. You don't have the stomach to beat me. I don't care what people think of me. All I care about is winning," he says as he continues his assault. Ginthru readies another explosion and rushes at Gon, but Gon, even more disgusted by Ginthru's lack of a moral code, focuses his rage and dodges the attack, then kicks his enemy to the ground and begins charging his Kin again. Ginthru tries crawling away, but Gon shoots his paper nin attack at Ginthru, stopping him from getting away. Again, Ginthru tries begging for his life, but Gon ignores him and uses scissors to finally finish Ginthru off. A little while later, Bisky and Killua meet back up with an injured Gon and quickly use one of their cards to heal Gon. After he's better, they gather all the bomber's cards with theirs and reveal they have all 99 needed for the final event. A message is sent to every player along with a quiz on all the cards in the game. Whoever scores the highest will receive the last card. Lucky for Gon, Killua is able to win with a perfect score, thus completing Greed Island. Gon and Killua celebrate with Bisky before saying farewell. Bisky tells him to say hi to Ging as Gon and Killua use a company to go to who they think is Ging. Gon and Killua move closer to the man when he tells them to stop, pointing out the ants around them, causing the boys to quickly jump away from the ant's nest. The man uses crazy slots and gets his gun, then begins shooting all the ants around them. Killua, not sure if he should be happy or worried, asks, "Is this your dad, Gon?" "No, it's not," Gon answers. Then calls out to the unknown man, "I was supposed to be taken to my father. Who are you, and why was I sent here?" The man looks at Gon and asks, "Is your father Ging?" Gon is shocked and answers, "Yes." "I've been looking for him. Do you know where he is?" The man laughs. "You look just like your father. My name's Kite, by the way, and I haven't seen him in a while, so I don't know where he is, or why you were sent to me, but if you're Ging's son, I'm sure he's behind this mix-up." Gon tries to hide his disappointment from not meeting Ging, but asks, "How do you know my father?" Kite tells him, "Ging saved my life when I was younger and taught me how to use Nin and be a hunter. The last time I talked to him, he said he was leaving and I should try to find him one day. So I guess you could say I'm looking for Ging too." This re-energizes Gon, so he asks, "Can we look together? It'll be fun, and you can tell me all about my dad while we look." "Sure, I don't mind you tagging along, but I'm on a mission," Kite tells them. "You saw those ants I just killed. Well, they're an invasive species attacking this country, and there's a lot more of them. The government hired me and some other hunters to exterminate them before they kill off the local wildlife." Killua asks, "What's so scary about these ants that has the government so worried?" Kite answers, "Well, as I said, they're an invasive species, and even worse, they're from the Dark Continent, a horrible place that almost no human can survive, and these ants have the ability to take characteristics from what they eat and give it to their kids, so the government is worried about it escalating to the point where the ants become a real problem." Gon asks, "Can we help you out? With more people it'll go faster and then we can find Ging." "Maybe. It could be dangerous. This country has a lot of dangerous wildlife and bandits running around, and I can't have 2 kids slowing me down." Gon tells Kite, "We can hold our own, but if you want us to prove it, then that's fine." Kite agrees to a quick sparring session where the 2 boys each show off their skills and a few of their nin moves, which is more than enough to impress Kite, especially after learning that Killua is a member of the Zoldyck family and that Gon is just as much of a prodigy as Ging. The 3 hunters then go to meet with the other hunters already deeper in NGL. While they travel to the destination, they are unaware that the Chimera ant problem is already much worse than they thought, as a queen ant has washed onto the shore with a mutation of being much larger than the average ant. She is already the size of a human woman, and she is already trying to start her family. Due to her huge size, she needs more food than the average ant and is forced to eat larger meals. So instead of grass and fruit that the regular ants have been eating, she has developed a taste for meat. Starting with rats and fish, this gives her the energy to give birth to the first group of ants with animal DNA mixed in, that quickly grow just as big as she is. This amazes the queen as she realizes the potential she has to make the perfect king of ants and rule over her family. She starts sending out her children to catch bigger and bigger animals, moving on to foxes, wolves, deer, and other stronger predators, allowing her to make stronger and stronger ants every few days. Finally, the ants find humans, and with the DNA of tigers and bears, they easily capture and kill the humans, finally making the ant-human hybrids that will go on to be the ants we know like Colt, Melion, Ramarot, Wolfen, and the others. These humanoid chimera ants would now be strong enough to kill low-level hunters and nin users, and when Kite, Gon, and Killua arrive in NGL, Kite receives a message from the group of hunters warning him that they were attacked and most likely killed by the ants. Kite is shocked by this and quickly tells his underlings, Stick Dinner and Podungo, to warn the Hunters Association about this and that they will need a real extermination team to handle this. Kite then asks Gon and Killua if they still want to continue with the mission, now that it's gotten much more dangerous. Gon and Killua both agree and seem eager for the challenge, but Kite warns them that they have to be his equal and carry their own weight. He can't babysit them or they'll all end up dead. Gon tells Kite, I'm ready to risk my life. If these bugs are killing innocent people and they are getting strong enough to take out hunters, they need to be stopped. And with the 3 hunters in agreement, they push deeper into the jungle in search of the ant's nest. They see a cave which could be the nest and start heading towards it when they are suddenly attacked by Ramarot, a rabbit-like chimera ant that speaks just like a human. Kite is confident he can easily handle the ant, so he tells Gon and Killua to see if they can beat it themselves. But if they can't, they'll have to leave the island immediately. The rabbit laughs, so you're gonna send the little ones after me? Huh, after I eat them, I'll take you to the queen for my reward. As Gon gets ready, Killua steps up and tells Gon that he will handle it by himself. Gon immediately agrees, believing in Kilowah's strength. Ramrod continues to laugh. So you're gonna fight me one at a time? This is too easy. But as Ramrod rambles on, Kilowah dashes towards him, going for the heart, just like in the Hunter's exam arc. Kilowah almost reaches Ramrod, but the ant is barely able to dodge the attack. He's fast, Ramrod thinks, as he decides to take the fight a little more seriously. Kilowah is already back on the attack, rushing forward with his hands electrified this time, connecting and shocking Ramrod with his nin. What the hell, the ant shouts as he tries fighting back, swinging at Kilowah, who dodges the speedy attacks. Kilowah is also impressed by Ramrod's speed, but believes he's faster, and tries blasting him again with electricity. Ramrod uses his wings to fly up and dodge the attack, while thinking to himself, if this one is this strong, I won't be able to beat all three of them. I have to warn the others and get back. The ant starts flying away as Kite orders Kilowah to stop him. Kilowah charges up more electricity before throwing a thunderbolt at Ramrod, striking him out of the air and paralyzing him on the ground. Gon calls out to Kilowah, "Nice, that new move's awesome. How long have you been saving it?" While Kite nods his head in approval, as Kilowah casually walks up to the ant, ready to kill it. But Kite feels something off and tells Kilowah to back up. Kilowah stops just before a second ant flies by and saves Ramrod. The Chimera ant, Colt, scoops up Ramrod and flies away, as Kite thinks to himself, that ant had to be watching the fight, and if I couldn't sense him, he had to be hiding his presence. Some of these ants must be even stronger than that rabbit. Kilowah calls out, "What the hell, I would have had him." "It's not your fault," Gon says. "The other ants saved him for sure." Kite tells Kilowah he did a good job, but to stay aware of his surroundings. These ants are strong, and there are definitely stronger ants than the one you just fought running around. Kilowah nods his head, and Gon assures Kite that they will do their best. So, Kite starts walking back towards the cave and asks the boys if they're coming. Gon and Kilowah both quickly follow Kite as they walk inside the Chimera ant's nest. The cave seems abandoned as the three hunters walk around with little resistance. Kilowah asks Kite, "Do you think they moved somewhere else, or they're just out hunting?" Kite says, "It seems like they abandoned this cave. Maybe they got too big and needed more space." Gon tells Kite, "Don't worry, we'll find them. They have to be close by." But before they leave, they hear a few voices deeper in the cave, and they seem to be getting closer. Kite tells Gon and Kilowah to be ready for anything as they come face to face with more Chimera ants. Gon, Kilowah, and Kite see 3 ants and then 2 more coming in behind them, carrying a few human slaves. The ants stop and seem excited to see the 3 hunters, saying, "Look, it's 3 more of those special people. The queen will want you guys for sure." Gon interrupts the ants, saying, "Let these people go before I kill all of you." The ants laugh. "Ha, compared to you guys, these people are worthless." Then, callously stepping on the human, killing them instantly. Gon's anger starts flowing out as Kite places his hand on Gon's shoulder. Kite calmly tells Gon, "Control yourself. We can't afford to have you at less than 100%. Kite says out loud, "I'll take the 2 in the middle. Gon, you take the one on the right. Kilowah, you take the one on the left and paralyze the one in the back if possible. Now go." The 3 hunters rush into action, with Gon quickly going after his foe, while Kilowah dodges his ant's attack and paralyzes the other one before continuing his fight. Kite summons Crazy Slots and gets his rifle, blasting the ants with bullets.
I started blasting. Bang! Bang! Well, I don't see so good, so I missed. Then they ran away. I ran after them.
Okay.
Bang! Try to shoot them in the back.
And quickly overpowering them. Gon uses Jon Kin to knock out the ants, then finish it off with scissors. While Kilowah quickly grabs his ant and twists its neck, killing it instantly. Now, the only ant left is the squid-like ant Kilowah paralyzed. Gon goes to finish him off, but Kite stops him, saying, "We'll keep him for questioning. Now, untie those people and let's get out of here." So with that, Gon, Kilowah, and Kite take the ant back to the city and try finding out all they can about the Chimera ants. Kite asks, "What are all the ants planning?" But the Chimera ant won't talk, refusing to answer anything. Gon still wants to just kill the ant, but Kilowah asks if he can talk to it first. Kilowah asks the ant, "What is your name? Or do Chimera ants even have names?" The squid is confused but tells Kilowah his name is Ikalgo, and that some of the newer ants like him have chosen names. Kilowah introduces himself, saying, "I'm Kilowah, it's nice to meet you." Now, please tell us what you can. I could see how horrified you were when the other ant killed that person, and I could see you didn't want to fight. You just wanted to get away and survive. That's what we want. A lot of you ants have been killing humans, and we just want to stop it. Ikalgo shrugs, saying, yeah, those guys were horrible. They take way more than we need to survive, and they don't even share with the queen. The big ones like them are also cruel and treat us weaker ants like trash. I'm glad they're dead. But I can't turn on my queen. She gave us all life. While they continue trying to get answers from Ikalgo, back at the nest, the ants are talking about the humans who were able to kill them. Colt has taken Ramrot to the new nest, where they have discovered that Ramrot has gained the use of aura, like the special humans they saw. Colt concludes that being hit the way Ramrot was must have opened up the ability, and he orders Ramrot to do the same to him. Ramrot agrees, gladly hitting Colt, even though he believed it wouldn't change anything. But it did, and Colt can feel his aura opening. This leads to the ants learning about aura and unlocking it for the stronger ant squad leaders, making the ants even more powerful. This is also the time the ants' armies are basically complete, and the queen is almost finished developing the 3 royal guards. Back with Killua and Ikalgo, Killua asks if the ants would accept a peace offer if the hunters were to let the ants live as long as they don't kill or attack humans. Ikalgo thinks for a moment and tells him, some of us ants can remember our past lives before when we were human and feel bad when they have to kill people, but the bad ones don't care, so if they were gone, I think the queen and her loyal subjects could be persuaded. Killua smiles. So, if we send you back to talk to the ants? Gon interrupts, saying, no way we can trust them. Kite agrees, telling Killua it would be better if they didn't let him return to the nest. Killua tells them, but he's helping us. He said it himself, it's not all the ants acting crazy. Most just want to live. Maybe they just need to be taught right from wrong. Kite tells Killua they will think about it further, while they have to wait for a reply from Netero and the Hunters Association. As 4 days pass, Killua decides to take matters into his own hands, and as they take turns watching Ikalgo, Killua asks, can I trust you to try your best to stop this from getting worse than it is? Ikalgo promises he will do what he can, but then asks, why do you want to help me so much? Killua tells him, I know what it's like to be told to kill people all your life, and I understand not knowing how to tell your family you want to stop. I think we're a lot alike, and in another time we could have been friends. Ikalgo is shocked by Killua's kindness, as Killua lets the Chimera Ant go. Ikalgo also warns Killua about the incoming royal guards, and how they are way stronger than any ant and will protect the king, who will be the strongest ant ever born. Then, Ikalgo slips away into the night, heading back to the nest, determined to convince the ants to stop killing humans before the hunters come and kill them. Killua goes to explain that Ikalgo escaped to Gon and Kite, but sees Gon already awake and pissed. Gon tells Killua he better keep his promise, or I will kill him myself. Killua feels bad for letting down Gon, but tells Gon he knows Ikalgo's a good guy. Gon goes back to sleep. The next day, Killua warns Gon and then Kite about the royal guards, prompting Kite to tell them they all need to get stronger. So, after a week of waiting and training, the Hunters Association tells Kite to return to his mission, and a team would be arriving soon to pick them up. But before that, they need to find the location of the ants' new nest. Kite agrees and takes Gon and Killua back into the field. Kite tells them that finding the nest is the most important thing, and are only fighting if they have to. So, before long, Kite is able to locate the nest by following a few low-level ants, and then marks the location on a map, so they can take the new team there when they arrive. However, the 3 hunters feel a terrifying presence, and are unable to identify where it's coming from. Kite gives the map to Killua and tells him and Gon to start running. Then, Kite is attacked by a strong Chimera Ant, losing his arm in seconds. Kite and the others see the Chimera Ant standing between them, and everyone knows this must be one of the royal guards. Gon charges up his aura to Killua and Kite's surprise. Killua goes to stop Gon, but Gon dashes at Pitu before Killua can connect. Kite tells Gon to run, but Gon is too angry to listen. As he runs forward, charging his Janjanken attack, Pitu sees Gon coming and switches her attention, wondering if she attacked the wrong human first. She runs at Gon and easily dodges his first attack, then punches him out of her way. This gives Kite enough time to summon Crazy Slots, and he gets his scythe. Kite seems disappointed at his role, but still readies himself to fight. Killua helps Gon up as Kite tries attacking P2. P2 is again able to dodge the attack. You three will be a great first meal for the king, P2 says, licking her lips. Killua tries convincing Gon to run, but Gon refuses to leave Kite, even though Kite tells him to run. No, Gon says, we can do this. Gon again begins charging up Kin at an amazing rate, which again grabs P2's attention. Wow, this guy might be strong. He doesn't seem fast enough to hit me, but if I'm not careful and he does connect, I might be in trouble. While P2 is watching Gon, Kite uses his scythe's signature attack, Grim Reaper's Dance, and attacks P2. Damn, I was getting careless, P2 thinks, as the blade spins towards her. P2 readies her nin, forcing it all to her hands and barely stopping the scythe as her and Kite lock eyes. P2 uses her superior strength to push the one-armed Kite away while keeping the scythe. She looks at Gon and says, I'll use this to kill you, then leaps towards Gon, who is still charging his nin. P2 swings the scythe just like Kite and is about to hit Gon. When Kite makes the scythe disappear, P2 is confused as her momentum continues to throw her forward, but with nothing to attack with, she misses Gon. Gon then blasts her with his paper nin attack, knocking her down, but not doing much damage. Do it now, Killua, Kite shouts, telling Killua to blast P2 with a thunderbolt from cover, paralyzing her in place. Gon then starts charging up for another Kin, ready to kill P2. Knowing they're still overmatched, Kite grabs Gon and runs, telling him not to be stupid. Killua quickly follows after them as P2 stands paralyzed as the three hunters get away. P2 eventually loosens up and debates whether she should go after them, but decides to go back to the nest, excited to see what she can do with Nin and wanting to make her own techniques. Gon, Kite, and Killua run for what seems like hours until they are almost completely out of NGL, and finally stop when Kite tells them they've gone far enough. Gon collapses on the ground as Kite scolds him for not running away. Kite says you could have been killed, you put Killua in danger as well, what the hell were you thinking? Gon tells him, I couldn't let you die, and we could have beaten that thing if you didn't stop me. Kite laughs as he bandages his wound. I don't think you could have beat that ant with 3 Kins. Could you not tell that she was on a whole nother level? Gon looks quiet as Kite continues scolding him, but praising Killua for understanding the situation and knowing that getting the map to the extermination team was the most important thing. They continue talking until they see a car in the distance, and when it arrives, Netero steps out with 2 other hunters. Netero greets the hunters before asking Kite about the situation. After learning everything and hearing how strong the ants are, Netero agrees that this is a big problem. Netero takes the 3 hunters back to the city so they can get Kite to a doctor and plan their next move. Since Gon, Killua, and Kite were able to escape P2, they all meet up with Netero, Morale, and Nov. Kite is taken to a doctor to deal with his severed arm, while Netero sends Killua and Gon off to battle Morale's students, Knuckle and Shoot, to prove they are strong enough to join the extermination team. But Netero has already secretly decided to let them join after talking to Kite and learning how strong the 2 young hunters are. So, while Gon and Killua search for their opponents, Ikago is secretly testing which ants would agree to a peace agreement between them and the hunters. So far, he only trusts Colt after seeing how he cares for the other ants and doesn't want any more of his brother's hurt, and Koala, an ant who has expressed remorse for killing humans, especially a young girl he killed when he was on his first hunting mission. But while Ikago is trying to accomplish his and Killua's mission, the last royal guard is born. All the lower ants have been getting more and more on edge by seeing how strong the guards are, and their lack of care for any ant that is not the queen or king. Ikago plans on using this to convince more ants that peace is the best option, but Ikago knows he must wait for the right time, since one wrong move will cause the guards to kill him without hesitation. This continues while all the ants wait for the king to arrive. Back with the hunters, Gon and Killua eventually run into Palm, who is one of Nov's students. Palm also wants to go to NGL, but can only go if Knuckles and Shoot are defeated. So, Palm decides to help Gon and Killua find their opponents before the month is over. Palm also uses her nin ability to learn about the boys' past and contact Bisky to give them some more training. Bisky quickly arrived and is happy to see the boys again, commenting on how much they've grown since the short time between now and Greed Island. Bisky tells them their basics are top notch and they just need to focus on fighting someone stronger than them. So, she transforms to her buff form and trains with them during the day and heals them at night, while Palm looks for either of the hunters. Knuckle is easily found since he is making no effort to hide and is openly challenging anyone he thinks might be the hunter Morel told him to look out for. Eventually, Palm sets up a meeting for Gon and Knuckle where they agree to settle things. Knuckle laughs when he sees Gon is a child, assuming the real hunter is using Gon as a distraction. But Gon quickly shows he's the real deal, flexing his nin and impressing Knuckle, who thinks to himself, "Okay, this kid means business. I won't hurt him too bad, but I also won't let my guard down. I can't embarrass Morel by losing to this kid." Knuckle waits for Gon to make the first move, so Gon rushes forward. They both try ending the fight quickly, trading shots back and forth. Gon is already using his enhancement skills to make himself just a little stronger and faster than Knuckle, while Knuckle is trying to save as much nin as possible and relying on his experience to outsmart Gon and land strong attacks. Gon backs up and charges up his Kin attack and then tries blasting Knuckles with paper. Knuckles easily dodges the attack, but Gon uses this opportunity to sneak around Knuckle and hit a second paper attack. Knuckle tries regrouping and understands fully not to take it easy on Gon. Again, Gon rushes at Knuckle, but this time, Knuckle perfectly dodges Gon's attack and sends him flying with a punch, then follows it up with a kick of his own. Gon takes the attack, surprised that it did less damage than he thought it would. He then notices a weird nin creature behind him. Knuckle, still wanting to help the young hunter, and waste a little time to build up interest, explains the ability to Gon, telling him, "If I hit you, I can let you borrow some of my aura, and if you don't pay it back, you owe me with interest. The numbers will keep going up till your debt is paid, and if you can't pay it, then you'll lose all your nin for 30 days. Gon sees the number is already going up, and now knows he can't waste any time. Gon thinks it's a good thing I've only showed him paper so far. Maybe I can surprise him with rock and steal the win. Knuckle laughs as he continues explaining, and even better, I won't feel any damage from your attacks until you pay me back. So basically you already lost, kid. Gon stops Knuckles. So, you think paper is the only attack I can use? Gon says, taunting Knuckle. If I cut you in half with scissors, it won't matter if you feel the pain or not. I'll still win. Knuckle is startled by Gon for the moment, but decides not to fall for Gon's head games, shouting back, "Try it, kid." The clock's ticking, as interest continues adding up. Gon continues attacking Knuckle, landing a few more attacks than his foe, but still not hurting him because of his nin ability, and only putting a scratch in his debt. Gon can feel himself getting tired, and guesses he only has enough nin for 2 or 3 more Kin attacks. Gon is able to trip Knuckles with a leg kick, knocking him over, then charging a small Kin, startling Knuckles, who tries quickly scrambling to his feet. Gon calls Scissors, further startling Knuckles, who hops backwards trying to avoid the attack. Gon is expecting this, though, and instead of going after Knuckle, he slices the ground, stirring up the dirt into the air, causing a dust cloud to form. He missed, Knuckle thinks to himself, but he hears Gon charging a second attack. I can easily block another paper, Knuckle thinks to himself, and he won't be able to see me well enough to land that slicing attack. But Gon tricks Knuckles, rushing behind him with enhanced speed and strength, then blasting his back with rock. Knuckles tries defending with his nin, but still the attack pays back all of Gon's debt and hurts Knuckles, sending him flying. With Gon's debt paid off, ARP disappears, releasing Gon from Knuckles' Hatsu. Knuckle is impressed by Gon, but he can tell Gon is at his limit. Knuckle calls out, "Let's stop this. This was a great fight, but it's obvious I'm gonna win. But you earned every bit of my respect, kid. I want to fight those ants with you in NGL. So, why don't we call this a draw?" Gon scoffs to himself, then calls back, "Are you giving up already, Knuckle? I hate when people don't take me seriously. I told Netero I'd beat you, and I plan on it." Gon then rushes at Knuckle, ready to knock him out with his final attack, when Knuckle warns him that he has too much pride for his own good. Knuckle waits for him to get close, then drops Gon with an enhanced punch of his own, knocking Gon out because of his lack of aura to block the attack. Knuckle again compliments Gon and leaves the token Morel gave him as proof of the fight, then leaves to meet Morel in NGL. Gon wakes up, angry about his loss and feeling like Knuckle went easy on him, but he has what he needs to go after the ant that hurt Kite, so he heads back to their hotel to tell Kite, Killua, Palm, and Bisky the good news. They all congratulate Gon, especially Kite, who also tells Gon he's ready to help train the boys some more. Also, Palm now starts working on finding the next hunter named Shoot for Killua to fight. After a few days of training with Kite and Bisky, it's time for Killua's fight with Shoot. Just like Gon, he chose to go alone. Killua and Shoot meet in a dark woods, and without exchanging a word, they both begin the fight. Shoot starts sending his floating hands towards Killua, who knocks them away while easily dodging Shoot's attacks. Killua is surprised by both Shoot's speed and maneuverability, as he watches him use his floating hands to attack and protect himself from Killua's electricity. But before long, the experienced hunter lands an attack on Killua. The attack doesn't hurt, but Killua instantly realizes how critical the attack is, as he notices his vision narrowing. He puts his hand above his eye, realizing Shoot has somehow stopped him from being able to see. Shoot then attacks Killua, using the blind spot to his advantage. Killua begins to worry if he can win, but promises himself he will pass his test just like Gon. Killua throws more electric thunderbolts, but with his eye missing, his aim is off, until he does manage to barely land one bolt at Shoot, hurting him but not paralyzing him. Killua thinks to himself, "I need more power," until he notices Shoot is being even more careful of Killua and watching his every move. Shoot finds an opening and lunges at Killua, forcing him to try to dodge, but Killua is caught by one of the floating hands grabbing his ankle. Shoot connects, taking Killua's second eye, leaving him temporarily blind. Shoot warns Killua to leave before he takes anything else, but Killua refuses, telling Shoot, "I'm not even hurt yet, you're gonna have to try harder than this," while thinking to himself, "This is bad, my only chance is to try that new move I've been thinking of." Killua makes an electric circle around himself and readies his fighting stance. Shoot, unfortunately, underestimates Killua and rushes in to finish the young hunter off. But as he enters Killua's circle, Whirlwind activates, automatically countering and blasting Shoot with a hard electric elbow, paralyzing him and releasing his nin. With Killua's eyes back and Shoot paralyzed, Killua grabs Shoot's token and thanks him for the sparring match. Then heads back to Gon, excited to celebrate their wins. With both boys passing their tests, Palm and them are all allowed to join the extermination team. Netero asks Kite to continue to training the boys as much as he can as they set up what they can for the next 3 weeks. After Gon and Killua earned the right to come with the extermination team, preparations are being made to locate the ants' new nest. Also, Netero and Morel are searching for and taking out as many ants as they can to get ready for a possible fight with the royal guards. While this is happening, the King Meruem is finally born, severely injuring the queen and heading off with the royal guards in search of food. The king and his royal guards leave NGL, moving to the next country over, then invading the leader's castle, easily killing everyone, including the nin users protecting the emperor. The king is satisfied eating the nin users and then decides to make this castle his own. One of the royal guards, Poof, makes a plan to create more ants by kidnapping humans and forcing them to be transformed into chimera ants. While the king waits for this plan to be ready, he orders P2 to gather world champions to play him in games to keep him entertained. Back at the nest, the original ants are scrambling to help the queen. Some ants are furious at the way Meruem treated the queen, while some go their separate ways, wanting to start their own colonies. The ants that stay with the queen are getting desperate, and Hikago sees his chance to act. He convinces Colt and the others to ask the hunters for help, explaining his talk with Killua and the possibility of peace. Colt agrees, feeling peace is the best option for the ants and the queen's survival. Colt and Hikago go to find help for the queen, bringing their white flag as a sign of peace. Morel sees this and is shocked, wanting to see what the ants could want. But Netero seems uncaring, wanting to continue exterminating all the ants they come across. Eventually, Morel convinces Netero to follow his lead, and they meet the Chimera ants peacefully and talk about the queen's condition. Colt explains she is dying because of Miriam's birth, and all the ants are panicking because the king has left. Morel asks Colt to tell him where the king went, and they will help the queen. But Colt refuses, countering that they should help the queen first to get the information they want. Morel laughs and is ready to end the conversation, but Ikalgo speaks up, telling them they have met with Kite, Killua, and Gon, and talked about peace between the ants and humans. This really surprises Morel, but he can't dispute the claims since he knows all three of the hunters' names. This is enough for Morel to trust the ants and call a medical team to help the queen. Netero leaves just in case it's a trap, still not trusting the ants, but allows Morel to follow his gut feeling. Inside the old nest, the ants watch as humans try saving the queen, with Morel and Colt keeping an eye on what's going on. But despite their best efforts, the queen dies from her injuries. The ants are upset by the queen's death, but gain respect for the humans helping the queen despite everything the ants have done to humans. Ikalgo and Colt thank Morel for his help and tell him about Meruem and the guards leaving the country to steal a beautiful castle they have seen miles and miles away. They also tell Morel that some of the ants want to help them go after the king. Colt tells him that the king killed his mother and left all his subjects to die. We want justice for her and every one of us ants who did everything we could to make sure the king was born. Morel accepts the help and tells any ant willing and strong enough to fight to stay here and wait for the other hunters to arrive. We won't need all of you, we only need a small effective team, so only the best will do. Colt promises to get the ants ready and find the exact location of the king. Before Morel leaves, Ikalgo asks to travel with him to meet up with Killua and be a part of the planning stages. Sure, little guy, let's go. We're all meeting up soon, and if you are friends with Killua, I'm sure he'll be glad to hear from you. So, from here on, Morel takes Ikalgo with him to meet up with Nulv, Knuckles, Shoot, Killua, Palm, Gon, and Kite. With all of the hunters together for the first time, everyone is updated on what's going on. Morel explains the king being born and the amazing strength of him and the three royal guards, and how some of the ants are ready to help the hunters against Meruem. Killua gives a thumbs up to Ikalgo, congratulating him on helping find a peaceful solution between the hunters and the ants. Morel then starts telling them the baseline for a plan. There will be 3 teams to take out the royal guards, and Netero will be fighting Meruem. There will also be a team of ants disrupting any plans that the king and his guards have, or helping wherever they can against the guards. Gon immediately speaks up and asks if he can go against the ant that took Kite's arm, with vengeance clearly on his mind. Morel tells Gon to calm down, but compliments his enthusiasm. We will figure out the teams after we talk to the ants. I'm sure we can find the teams that are satisfying for everyone. But right now, I'm sending Nulv and a few ants to the king's new castle to make a way for us to enter undetected, with his hide-and-seek ability. Then we will see what abilities the ants have to add to our strategy. So, when the ants and hunters come together, they discuss their plan and it goes as followed. First, Palm is sent inside as recon, like in the anime, pretending to be one of the girls left over from the old leader. Then, Ikalgo and several other Chimera ants will meet up with Palm to disrupt any plans they find. Next, they will separate the guards and the king by using the 3 teams to distract the guards, and Netero will challenge the king one-on-one. Team 1 will be Gon, Killua, and Kite, hopefully fighting Pito. Next, Knuckle, Morel, and the Chimera ant Milion will fight Yuppie. And finally, Nulv, Shoot, and Colt will fight Poof. With everyone settled, the team wait for Netero to lead the assault, getting to know each other and form a plan in their individual fights. Kite tells Killua, and more importantly Gon, to follow his orders throughout the fight. You two have gotten stronger since we first saw P2, but we still don't know if we can beat the Royal Guard, and we can't waste our opportunities by getting emotional or reckless. Gon promises not to disappoint Kite. He also promises to beat P2 and then help everyone else in their fight. Everyone on the extermination team is ready, and as night falls, Netero tells them it's time to go. Nav opens up the portal, allowing everyone to step through. They instantly feel P2's heavy aura, startling them until Morel boosts the morale, reminding them how this is a fight for humanity against these monsters and that they must win. So, as the hunters storm the castle, P2 warns the other Chimera ants that something is going on downstairs. As the extermination team invades Meruem's castle, the 3 royal guards jump into action. Yuppie sprints out to meet the hunters while Poof checks on the human ant hybrids and Pito stays watching over the king, who is still playing games with Komogi. Yuppie is the first royal guard to see the hunters, climbing the stairwell to the king. Morel quickly uses his smoke to hide everyone's movements from Yuppie, then shows himself to get the ants' attention. Yuppie readies himself for a fight, but he is struck by Knuckles, who is using Melion's invisibility. Then, the other hunters run past the confused Yuppie, who begins to realize this is a coordinated assault on the king. Morel then jumps into the air as if he is going to slam Yuppie with his huge pipe, and as Yuppie again focuses on killing Morel, Knuckles and Melion work together to blast Yuppie while he is distracted. Yuppie is enraged and starts wildly attacking everything around him until he notices APRs behind him and tries attacking it. Morel and Knuckles continue wasting time hoping to bust Yuppie and seal his Nen. Yuppie begins to understand that APR isn't the thing attacking him and focuses back on Morel. He also knows Morel isn't attacking him, only causing distractions, so there must be something else going on he can't see. Yuppie continues wildly attacking around himself. He concludes that whatever Morel and the unseen attacks are doing, he can easily survive since the attacks aren't hurting him, and he can wait for his moment to kill the intruders while the other royal guards handle the other intruders. While Yuppie is battling his opponents, the hunters continue up the stairs, following Pito's aura and ends up in the king's chambers. P2 readies herself to fight all the hunters, but Meruem shows himself and asks, "Why are you here?" Netero stops Gon from speaking first and steps to the front of the pack. He tells Meruem, "I heard you are the powerful king of the ants, so I wanted to see for myself if everything I was told was true." Meruem quickly tries slashing Netero with his tail, but Netero easily dodges and smiles. "Maybe the Chimera ants I've been killing were lying about how impressive you are." The king is shocked anyone in this world could dodge his attacks, but he is intrigued. He tells the hunter that he has only lost to one person and points to Komogi. "This frail girl has showed me that power comes in many shapes and sizes. I thought all humans were dirt under my feet, but some do have value. If you want to fight me, I will play with you, but I won't lose." P2 tells the king not to worry about these humans, she will fight in his place. But Meruem tells her that it seems she has her own fight, as Gon is already powering up his aura. The king follows Netero outside, then orders P2 to keep Komogi safe until he returns. Shoot, Nav, and Colt leave Gon, Killua, and Kite to fight P2 and begin searching for Poof. Yuppie feels the king's aura getting further away, and not knowing what is going on, decides he can't be defensive anymore and must end the fight quickly. Yuppie charges at Morel, who is forced to flee or be run down by Yuppie. Knuckles and Melion chase after them as they leave the castle. Morel tries making Smoke Clone, but Yuppie effortlessly tramples them, continuing towards Morel. Yuppie gets close enough to land a huge punch to Morel, who is barely able to use his pipe to block the attack, but he is still thrown back into a concrete wall surrounding the castle. Knuckles lets Melion go so he can try getting Yuppie's attention. Knuckles shouts out, "Hey, over here, dummy." Yuppie turns around, asking, "Are you the one who's been hitting me?" "Hell yeah," Knuckles shouts back, "and I'll keep doing it, you ugly bug." Yuppie is obviously annoyed by Knuckles, but he's able to keep his cool. He turns his arm into a sword, telling Knuckles, "I know what you're doing, you're trying to save your friend here, but I'll finish him off then kill you." Yuppie goes to stab Morel, but when he turns around, Morel is gone. What? He was just here a second ago, Yuppie thinks. There must still be something I'm not getting. Yuppie turns towards Knuckles, who is still egging him on, but before he can go back on the attack, Yuppie is surrounded by a wall of smoke. Melion saved Morel by turning him invisible and giving him enough time to make his smoky jail around Yuppie. Knuckles celebrates, feeling like they have won, but Morel warns him to stay focused. "If I'm not also inside Smoky Jail, it loses some of its strength, so I don't know how long it'll hold up." Hopefully it'll stay up until your bankruptcy activates. Yuppie tries furiously to break out, but the smoke acts like a cushion, softening and absorbing his blows. Morel then tells Knuckles, "I have to stay here to keep Smoky Jail activated, but you go help anyone you can find." Knuckles agrees, but forces Melion to stay and help Morel just in case, then heads off after the other royal guards. As Knuckles runs around the castle, he finds Nov, who is injured and struggling to walk. Nov tells Knuckles to help Shoot and tells him which way to go. Knuckles rushes down to get to Shoot as Nov uses hide and seek to recover in his pocket dimension. Knuckles walks into the room Nov told him about and sees the experiments that Poof was doing, making the Chimera Ant and human hybrids. He also sees Shoot fighting Poof with all his heart. Just like in the anime, Shoot is doing everything in his power to help the team, flying back and forth with Poof as they fight. Shoot is obviously hurt, but Knuckles has no way of reaching the fight that high in the air. He then sees that Palm and some of the Chimera Ants are trying to help people escape the cocoons Poof had made and then escape to safety. Knuckles is wowed by Shoot, taking all the damage so Palm and the others can help as many people as they can. Shoot finally lands a hit on Poof and uses his ability to blind one of Poof's eyes, but Shoot is slammed to the ground by a counterattack from Poof. Poof goes to stomp on Shoot to finish him off, but Knuckles is able to slide in and save him. Shoot thanks Knuckles for the save as he stands up ready to continue the fight. Knuckles and Shoot rush Poof, working well together with Shoot's maneuverability and support, a perfect match for Knuckles' powerful, aggressive style. The two hunters land several nice attacks on Poof, but can't take advantage of them as Poof continues battling and dishing out more damage than he is taking. Knuckles can't use his Nin ability since it's still being used on Yuppie, and his raw strength doesn't seem to be enough as both men are beaten by Poof, who starts demanding answers from them. The two hunters refuse to answer, so Poof decides to kill one of them, hoping the other one will talk. Thankfully, before he can decide which one, Nov opens a portal, saving the two hunters from certain death. With the two hunters disappearing right in front of his eyes, Poof splits into hundreds of miniature clones to search the area, mainly for Meruem, but also for the hunters and the royal guards. With Knuckles and Shoot saved by Nov, he asks Knuckles for an update on the mission. Knuckles sadly reports little progress, telling him Poof is barely hurt, if at all, and Yuppie is captured but undamaged. Hopefully he will go bankrupt soon and lose his Nin, but Knuckles admits it could still take a while, and he doesn't know how long Morel will be able to keep him stuck in Smoky Jail. Shoot lets Knuckles know how Meruem was separated from the guard, since he agreed to follow Netero for a fight, so there's still hope. Knuckles smiles, but then wonders how Gon is doing against Pitou. He tells Nov they need to get back out there and help the kid as soon as possible. As the other hunters are busy with Yuppie and Poof, Gon, Kite, and Killua surround Pitou. Pitou thinks to herself, "I should be able to beat these guys, but I can't let anything happen to Komogi or the king will kill me himself." Pitou begins asking for time to watch over Komogi until the king returns, to everyone's surprise. Gon laughs, warning Kite and Killua it must be a trick and that they have to take out Pitou no matter the cost. "Stop being so callous," Kite tells Gon. "If you want to risk someone's life, risk your own, not this poor girl's." Kite tells Pitou that they will fight here and now, but no harm will come to the girl. Kite then tells Killua to take Komogi somewhere safe. This causes Pitou to take an aggressive stance, stopping Killua before he reaches Komogi. Kite then tells Killua to grab Komogi the first chance he gets, then tells Gon to help him distract Pitou. Kite activates Crazy Slots and rolls a number Gon's never seen before. "Finally, a good roll," Kite says under his breath. Kite tells Pitou, "I added a new number after our first fight, and I finally get to test it out." Crazy Slots becomes a robotic arm attached to Kite, taking the place of the arm he lost. Gon is impressed by Kite's new ability, but focuses on Pitou as they both get ready to attack. Kite rushes forward, attacking Pitou who stands in place in front of Komogi, defending against Kite's attacks. Pitou is surprised how strong Kite's robotic arm is, as it is actually able to damage her a bit, but she is still able to push Kite back without much effort. As Kite steps back, Gon rushes forward with his Kin charged. Knowing Pitou can't move or risk Komogi getting injured, Gon has the advantage as Pitou is forced to block the attack. Gon's punch slams into P2, hurting her more than the robotic arm, but still not injuring her. P2 is, however, thrown backwards by the attack, allowing Killua to use Godspeed to outrun P2 and grab Komogi, then sprint out of the room to a safer location. P2 tries running after Killua, but is stopped by Kite, grabbing her tail and throwing her back against a wall. Gon then blasts her with the Janjankin paper attack, stunning her further. P2 then stands up and slams Gon with a strong punch, knocking him to the ground, then focusing back on Kite. Kite is able to dodge the attacks and also uses his conjured robotic arm to block some of the attacks from P2, but he's still well outmatched by her strength and speed. Gon slowly gets back to his feet and sees Kite fighting with P2. Wow, that arm must have some ability to enhance his strength and speed, because Kite's fighting like I've never seen him fight before, Gon thinks to himself. Once Killua gets back, I'm sure we'll be able to wrap this fight up quickly and go after the other guards. Gon gets back into the fight, helping Kite where he can, while Killua cautiously sneaks through the castle with Komogi. Killua sees Morel holding UP in Smoky Jail and lets him know about the king going off with Netero to fight. Morel thanks Killua, but urges him to quickly find Nov so he can protect the girl. She could be important if Netero can't stop Meruem. And give me some help while you're at it, I can't hold out much longer. Killua nods his head and rushes off to find Nov until he runs into Poof. Killua stops as Poof confronts him and Komogi, asking what he plans to do with her. Killua tries bluffing that he'll kill Komogi if Poof doesn't turn around and go the other way. But Poof is happy with Killua's response, telling him that unlike the king, he can't stand the girl and wants to kill her himself so that King won't be poisoned by her ideas. Killua, now out of options, again uses Godspeed to run away, but Poof is right behind him, laughing as he tries, capturing Killua and Komogi. Back with Gon and Kite, the fight is slipping further away from them as Pito's strength is beginning to take over the fight. Gon and Kite both have taken damage, but Kite is worse off as he has been protecting Gon for most of the fight. Gon sees Kite fading and begins to lose his temper more and more. As his anger rises, P2 begins to see Gon as the main threat. P2 tries time and time again to kill Gon, slashing at him relentlessly as he dodges back and forth, looking for an opening. Kite is trying to help him by attacking P2, but now that she has seen all his attack combinations, she easily counters and continues after Gon. Killua isn't having any more luck, being barely able to avoid Poof, who has split himself in two while trying to trap Killua, keeping the most power possible while adding the pressure of fighting multiple people. So, Killua continues racing through the castle, careful not to lead Poof into P2 or Yuppie, but still checking wherever he can for Knuckles, Nov, or anyone to help. Finally, Killua runs into Palm and Colt. Killua quickly gives Komogi to Palm, telling her there's no time to explain, but she must keep the girl safe no matter what. Killua then turns around to find Poof already attacking. Colt leaps forward, meeting Poof head on, using all the strength he can to slow down the royal guard. Colt remembers his time as a human and protecting his little sister. Colt tells himself he can't let that happen again as he manifests his Nin ability for the first time, turning his aura into a solid shield, pushing the royal guard back and buying Palm and Killua time to figure out their next move. As Killua explains to Palm why they must keep Komogi safe, Colt's shield is already breaking due to his overall smaller aura capacity and his lack of experience using the ability. Colt tells Palm and Killua to run and that he will hold back Poof as long as he can. Killua protests this, saying that they have a better chance of winning if they fight together, but Colt insists they run, saying, "We can't beat him. As soon as Poof breaks through, I'll be done, and you can't fight him yourself. Get Komogi to safety before it's too late." Palm and Killua rush off, thanking Colt for his sacrifice, as Colt continues holding off a enraged Poof. Killua and Palm eventually meet up with Nov, Knuckle, and Shu, where Killua again must explain the situation with Komogi. As Nov takes over protecting her in his pocket dimension, Killua also tells them that Morel and Colt need help as soon as possible. So, everyone breaks back into groups and continues the fight. Palm goes to help Morel and Melion with Yuppie, who is close to losing his Nin thanks to APR, and Shu and Knuckles go to hopefully save Colt. Killua rushes back to Gon and Kite as P2 continues to land strike after strike on Kite, who begs Gon to stay back and trust him. Gon fights all his instincts and follows Kite's orders, watching his mentor get beaten by the much stronger Chimera Ant. Kite tries fighting back, but P2 is far too fast for him to defend against, as he is slammed through a wall and into the next room. P2 looks back at Gon, checking if he will fight or listen to Kite. She sees that Gon is still ready to fight, but respecting Kite's request. P2 tells Gon he would have been a good guard for the king, as she turns back to finish Kite off. Gon begins charging up his Jon kin, fearing Kite is about to die, when Killua bursts into the room, blasting P2 with a thunderbolt, stopping her in place. Gon sees this opening and rushes forward, using scissors to stab P2 in the back. But this is still not enough to stop her, as her eyes shoot towards Gon, who has been the only one able to truly injure her or any of the royal guards. Kite shouts to Gon to get out of there, but he knows Gon can't outspeed P2, who is ready to attack. Killua now uses his Godspeed to save Gon, pulling him out of P2's attack range just in time. And finally, Kite stands up with his robotic arm now resembling a cannon. He tells P2, "My arm's been draining aura from you every time we made contact and building up for this one attack." P2 can feel the aura in Kite's arm, only able to compare it to Gon's Jon kin but much stronger. "I have to dodge this attack," she thinks. Before she can jump, she feels two hands grab her back as she sees Killua tase her again, paralyzing her in place. "I was so worried about Gon that I didn't realize Killua was the most important teammate. That's why Kite sent him off, so he would be ready when the fight was in the closing act." P2 looks back at Kite, who shoots a huge aura blast, killing her in seconds and collapsing part of the castle where she was standing. Gon cheers as P2 disappears under the rubble. Then, Gon quickly notices how hurt Kite is and goes to help him. "That was amazing," Gon tells Kite as he watches the metal arm turn back into crazy slots and then disappear. Killua also goes to help Kite, offering to take him to Nav so he can wait with Komogi. Kite refuses, saying they all still have a job to do. The three hunters head back down the stairs and see Morel's smoke clones distracting Yuppie, who has finally lost his nin, but is still a problem with his overwhelming strength. Morel and Palm have been hiding with Melion, waiting for backup, so they are glad to see Gon and the others were able to defeat P2, saying, "As long as Netero defeats the king, we should be able to finish up soon." So, Gon and Killua offer to help Morel take care of Yuppie, when something bursts through the walls. They see P2's half-destroyed body being puppeted by the nin ability Terupt Sakura, and attacking blindly in all directions, not even sparing Yuppie from her attacks, and heavily injures the royal guard. Yuppie is visibly saddened, asking P2, "What did they do to you?" as she continues blindly attacking him. Yuppie is forced to defend himself and uses his superior strength to finally finish off P2's nin ability Terupt Sakura. Yuppie is also now badly injured from P2, further turning the battle in the hunter's favor. Morel tells Gon, Kite, and Killua to find Netero and help him finish off Meruem. The rest of the extermination team can stall Yuppie and Poof. The king's death is all that matters, Morel says, as him, Palm, and Melion then rush over to Yuppie to lure him deeper into the castle, hoping to meet up with Knuckles, Shoot, and Nav. Gon asks Kite if he'll be okay, but it's obvious that the fight with P2 has taken its toll on him. Kite assures Gon he can fight, and as the three hunters turn around to leave the castle, they see Meruem standing in front of them. They stop as Meruem walks over to P2's body and asks them, "Where's Komogi?" Killua and Kite are silent, but Gon shouts back, "Where's Netero?" Meruem tells Gon, "He was a worthy champion for you humans, so I let him live. But he was obviously planning something, so I left him in the desert for you all to pick up after I arrived. Now, I won't ask again, where's Komogi? I left her with P2, and now P2 is dead. One of you must know where she is." "We can't tell you right now," Kite says, "but she is unharmed, and I'm sure we can work out a deal that satisfies everyone." Meruem slowly walks over to Kite and tells him, "I warned you I wouldn't ask again." Meruem stabs Kite with his tail, quickly ending the already injured Kite's life, then looks over to Gon and Killua and asks, "Who's next?" Killua sees Gon is in tears, but hasn't moved. "Gon, we have to go," Killua says as Meruem pushes Kite's body to the side. But as Killua tries to take Gon with him, he feels Gon's aura turn dark. Killua sees Gon has lost control, and no matter what he says, Gon won't listen.
Killua watches in disbelief as Gon's aura practically explodes out of control and Meruem casually stands over Kite's freshly killed body. Gon finally speaks, telling Killua, "Get out of here while you can. I don't want to accidentally hurt you." Killua backs up as Gon's body finally transforms into an adult form, more suitable to fighting Meruem. Killua knows this is bad, wondering what condition could Gon have made to gain this much power. Gon must be at the very least 10 times stronger than he was a minute ago, Killua guesses. Meruem steps face to face with Gon, saying, "This changes nothing. Where's Komogi?" Killua tries settling the situation, saying, "I'll take you to her. Just stop your guards from interfering." As soon as Meruem looks at Killua to accept his terms, Gon hammers a huge fist across Meruem's face, sending him flying out of the castle. Gon then turns to Killua, warning him with tears in his eyes. "You have to get everyone out of here. I'm pretty sure I'll have to destroy this place to stop him." Gon then gently picks up Kite's body and tells Killua to make sure Kite gets home. Killua tries one more time to calm him down, but Gon ignores him as he walks outside to meet Meruem. Killua then goes to warn the others that the king defeated Netero. The king Meruem shakes off the dust and gets to his feet, saying to himself, "I actually felt that one. How can this boy hit harder than Netero? Once I kill him, I'm sure the other humans will fall in line. These humans keep finding ways to surprise me." As soon as Meruem sees Gon, he dashes towards him, trying to rip off his arm the same way he did Netero. Gon's aura spikes again as he readies himself to absorb the attack. Meruem's claws dig into Gon, but as he pulls, Gon stands firm and glares at Meruem. How is he so strong, Meruem thinks, as Gon again swings his fist at the king. Meruem lets go of Gon's arm, then ducks under the blow. He's strong, but nowhere near as skilled as Netero, Meruem thinks, as he raises his tail to finish off Gon. The king's tail strikes like lightning as Meruem feels it connect with Gon's stomach. But as he looks, he sees Gon gripping it in his hands, having stopped it just in time to stop any major damage. Gon yells out as he snaps the end of Meruem's tail, asking, "Do you think so little of humans that you thought I would forget what you did to Kite?" Meruem feels real pain for the first time in his short life as he scrambles back from Gon, who seems to still be gaining more and more aura. "This kid's become a monster just to stop me. I wish I could have seen him before this so I could fully appreciate how much stronger he's grown." Meruem uses his ability to anticipate his opponent's next move to dodge Gon's attacks and land some of his own, ineffective strikes. But Gon keeps pushing forward, unfazed or just uncaring of the damage his body receives. As him and the king clash back and forth at unparalleled speeds, back in the castle, Killua sees that Yuppie's injury from P2 has almost stopped him, and he is barely able to hold off the hunter's attacks. And Nav has captured Poof and trapped him in a pocket dimension by himself. The hunters all celebrate their seemingly assured victory until they see Kite's body and then ask where Gon is. Killua tells them the bad news about Netero being defeated and Gon's transformation. Knuckle instantly tries rushing to Gon, but Killua tells him not to. Gon is fighting with such pure instinct that he might kill you if you get too close. "Damn it," Knuckles says, "we can't just do nothing. If that bug killed Netero, the kid's got no chance. I don't care what ability he uses." Killua tells them that Netero's not dead, just left at the battlefield. Morel smiles, then tells Killua he's the only one that's fast enough to save Netero. "We can finish off Yuppie, and Poof will eventually starve if we leave him trapped long enough. Let us take Kite so we can give him a proper burial. You bring Netero here, and if he's alive, I'm sure he will still fight. Maybe together we can still beat the king." "What about Gon?" Killua asked. Everyone is quiet, understanding the price Gon will have to pay with such an ability. Shoot sadly tells Killua, "Hopefully you're fast enough to get back before it's too late for him." Killua wastes little time following the other hunters' plan, leaving Kite with them, then using Godspeed to try and find Netero. As he leaves the castle, he can see that Gon is still fighting with all he has. Gon focuses on all he's learned from training with Bisky, the Phantom Troop, Wing, and especially Kite to keep up with Meruem's amazing battle strategy, while Meruem tries learning how to fight for the first time when he's not the far superior life form. The King Meruem thanks to his Gungi matches with Komogi,
seeing every game as a practice for this fight and how he wants to have a final match with Komogi as a friend and not a rival after this. So, both men give it their all, as Meruem has finally learned enough about Gon's tendencies to gain the upper hand. Landing hit after hit on Gon, as Gon is landing less and less attacks of his own, Meruem smiles, feeling as if his win is moments away. Just as Meruem fell to me, so will you, Gon, and after that, there will truly be no one to stand against me. Gon realizes he needs to change up his strategy before he loses, so he tries a risky strategy. He stops using his nin to defend his body and focuses as much of his nin as he can on strengthening his muscles and reflexes. Gon begins recklessly wasting aura until he sees his chance and outmaneuvers Meruem. Gon uses Janjan Kin in both hands and blasts Meruem with a double paper attack, sending him flying once more but not dealing enough damage to worry Meruem. Gon again charges aura in both hands as Meruem leaps from the dust of the destroyed castle grounds, laughing maniacally. Gon waits for Meruem to get close before using scissors in his left hand, creating a huge nin blade and slicing it towards Meruem. Meruem knows this blade is bad news, so he uses all his power to dodge it, barely succeeding as the blade scrapes past him. Gon then jumps towards the airborne Meruem, slamming him with a full force Janjan Kin, bouncing Meruem to the ground and wiping his smile away. Meruem feels a few bones crunch as the attack lands, forcing him to clutch his ribs to catch a breath. The kid's strength is even greater than mine. I can't make any more mistakes or I might lose, Meruem thinks. Then, Gon comes flying down, trying to squash Meruem under his foot, forcing Meruem to scurry out of Gon's path. I can't let up, Gon thinks. I have him right where I want him, as he continues his assault, swinging wildly at the injured king. Meruem tries dodging, but his injuries lead to him being caught in Gon's grasp as Gon begins trying to charge another Janjan Kin. He's an animal, Meruem thinks, as he sees the look of pure hatred in Gon's eyes. Meruem begins to panic, trying to think of any way to get out of Gon's vice-like grip. My tail is broken, I can't move my arms, what do I do? Meruem's mind races, until his instincts kick in and he viciously bites into Gon's arm until he hits bone. Gon's reflexes cause him to drop Meruem and lose his charge for Janjan Kin. Then, Meruem chops Gon's injured arm, further damaging it as Gon tries pushing Meruem away in desperation. The king licks his lips as he can taste the amazing aura Gon has and wants more. Gon can feel his transformation is taking a toll on his body. I can't keep this up much longer, but I have to do this for Kite. I won't let Meruem win. This next attack will be my last, Gon thinks, as he forces his injured arm to again build up aura. Meruem can feel the gravity of this attack, also figuring it will be his last. I wish I had more time to understand this nin like Pitu or this child, but I will use what I know to survive this attack no matter what and win the fight. Gon's aura begins to explode as he forces every bit of aura to his fist, while Meruem concentrates on covering his body with as much aura as possible. And when he sees all of Gon's defenses down, he pounces with his claws ready to slice through Gon. Gon lets Meruem get as close as possible, then slams his fist down in between them, releasing a huge explosion and shaking the castle, as the hunters inside wonder if anyone will make it back to them. As the dust and dirt clear out, Gon sees Meruem on the ground, badly injured but not dead. Gon tries building up a finishing blow, but can't. He then falls, no longer able to support his own weight. Gon's body slowly transforms back to normal, except for the gruesome injuries from the battle, finally showing the real damage he had received. Meruem also tries to move but can't, and begins to wonder how badly he is injured. Then praises Gon for what he did and how close he came to completely defeating him. As they both lay on the ground, unable to move, they hear footsteps coming closer. The king turns his head and sees several small clones of Poof that manage to avoid being captured. Poof apologizes for not helping sooner, explaining that the fight was too powerful for him to get close to without dying. But now that it's over, he will gladly give all his remaining life force to heal the king, so he will survive. Meruem gladly accepts Poof's sacrifice, thanking him for being a good guard, and is healed enough to gain the strength to stand. He looks at Gon's broken body, commenting on how he must have offered everything he had to transform, and when it ran out, his time was up. The king, still badly injured, decides to put Gon out of his misery, naming him a worthy champion just like Netero. Then, Miriam hears a familiar voice. He turns around to see Netero sitting behind him laughing. "Surprisingly, your humanity was your downfall, King Miriam," Netero says. "You should have killed me when you had the chance." Miriam is surprised Netero found his way back to the castle, and tries to look back at Gon, who is no longer at his feet. He sees Killua running back into the castle, holding Gon's body, and finally realizes what happened. As he looks back at Netero, who activates the poor man's rose, just before the blast, Killua runs to meet the other hunters, warning them that they must get out as soon as possible. They all hide inside Nov's pocket dimension, barely avoiding the nuclear blast, leaving Yuppie and forcing Poof out of Nov's Nin ability. With all the damage they have sustained, Meruem is instantly killed by the bomb, and so is Poof and Yuppie, leading to the defeat of Meruem and his royal guards, thanks to Killua and Netero. As the hunters escape the palace, the Chimera Ants are finally stopped, with Meruem being defeated by the poor man's rose thanks to Killua's assist to Netero. But sadly, no one is celebrating as they see Killua holding Gon's broken body. They also mourn the loss of Kite and Netero. Then they all rush to get Gon and their own injuries attended to. The hunters fly out to the Hunter Association building, knowing the best doctors are located in the city. Killua checks Gon into the hospital and then tries finding his own way to heal Gon. While Killua handles his business, the hunters start trying to find Netero's replacement, just like in the anime, holding an election. Killua has little interest in this, so he returns to his family, feeling he may be the only one able to heal Gon. In the hospital, Gon is treated by Leodio, who has gotten his medical degree and is working as a specialty doctor for the hunters and the people of the city. Leodio also tries doing whatever he can to heal Gon, asking all the hunters he's helped and the Zodiacs for any ideas, but nobody can think of a way to help. Leodio eventually meets Ging and scolds him for how he's treated Gon, especially since he hasn't checked on Gon since he's been hospitalized. This continues just like in the anime election arc, where Leodio being favorited to win after embarrassing Ging, and Killua taking his sister to heal Gon in a final desperate attempt to save his life. Killua has grown strong enough to escape Illumi and his family, as they have no way of catching up to his new full-powered god speed. Killua rushes to Gon, avoiding Illumi's Nin slaves until he reaches Gon's hospital room. Killua is happy to see Leodio attending to Gon's injuries to the best he can, but there is still no progress in Gon's condition. He also sees that Krepka has come to visit Gon. Krepka says that he wishes their reunion was for a better reason, but he's glad to see everyone. Killua agrees, but tells them he may have found a way to save Gon, before showing them his little sister. They are skeptical on how a little girl can help Gon, but they give Killua and his sister room to work. Killua uses his sister's strange ability to grant wishes, asking her to fix Gon, to which she simply replies, okay. Then a huge blast of energy surrounds Gon, shocking the three boys until it explodes, not hurting anyone, just disappearing around Gon. Everyone is quiet until they see Gon's arms start to move. Leodio calls out to Gon, asking if he's okay. Then, Gon slowly pulls his bandages off his face and asks them what happened, in a confused, tired voice. Leodio jumps over to Gon, giving him a hug. He also thanks Killua's little sister for saving Gon. Krepka is amazed by Aluka's Nin ability, wondering how it could have come to her. Killua lets out a sigh of relief that Aluka was able to save his best friend. Killua explains what happened after Gon passed out and how Netero sacrificed himself to kill Meruem. Gon is disappointed he wasn't the one to finish off Meruem, but he is still glad the king was defeated. Gon slowly gets out of bed and asks what will they do now. Everyone laughs at Gon, but understands that he's never been someone who likes to rest for long. And as they try to think of their options of what to do, Leodio remembers that Gon's father is currently staying in the Hunter Association building and asks Gon if he still wants to meet him. Gon seems surprised, but instantly answers yes, then asks his friends if they will come with him. They all agree and start heading to the Hunter's headquarters, but they are quickly stopped by Illumi, who is ordering Killua to return Aluka to their family estate. Everyone is tense at the situation, except for Killua, who just asks Aluka to send Illumi home. Illumi dashes towards Killua, but he disappears just as Killua asked. Gon comments on how helpful Kilowog's little sister would have been against the Chimera ants. Kilowog just laughs. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Then, they finally leave to meet Gon's father. As they enter the election hall, Gon sees his father standing on stage giving his speech. Ging continues telling the other hunters, please, don't vote for me. I don't want this job. I don't care about this job. Ging suddenly stops as he notices Gon standing at the end of the room. Then composes himself, telling the hunters he has to go before darting backstage. Luodio calls out and chases Ging backstage, screaming for him to come back here and see his kid. Finally, Gon catches up to his father as they both stand in awkward silence. Ging asks Gon if they can go talk in private, and of course Gon agrees. Ging takes Gon to his Zodiac private room, and as he's about to talk to Gon, he sees Gon's eyes watering. Gon tells Ging, I'm sorry I couldn't save Kite, I really tried. Ging tells Gon, don't worry, that wasn't your job, I'm sure Kite wanted you to survive more than anything. Ging walks closer to Gon and compliments him on how much he's grown, saying, I can't believe you're so strong. All the hunters are talking about the 2 kids who were fighting the Chimera ants with Netero. Gon smiles as Ging continues. I know you were the first person to beat Greed Island, so I know you had to have beaten Razor. You took everything I threw at you and survived. Gon's smile fades as he says, yeah, but now it's all gone. I didn't tell my friends, but I haven't been able to use my Nin, Gon says in a concerned tone. Ging looks over Gon and tells him, maybe that's true, but maybe it's not. It seems like you're just back to before you even learned Nin, so maybe you just need to reawaken it, Ging tells him. Gon seems excited at the idea, but skeptical. He says, hopefully Kilowog can help me get back into fighting shape then. Ging answers back, yeah, if that's what you want, or I could help you. Ging says, looking awkwardly around the room. You're obviously strong enough to take care of yourself, but I'm sure I could teach you something. Gon quickly agrees, asking, when can we start? Ging tells Gon he'll be waiting for him at the World Tree. Gon accepts Ging's last challenge. He promises to meet Ging again soon, after talking to his friends. Gon then tells his friends about going to train with Ging, as they all discuss their plans. Luodio tells him that he will continue helping the hunters and the less fortunate people in the city, as the best doctor on this side of the world. Krapka tells Gon that he still has unfinished business with the troop, and he's still tracking down Krollo, so he will continue training until he's strong enough to take them all out. Next, Kilowog wonders to himself what he wants to do. He wonders if he should go with Gon, or maybe help Krapka take out the troop, but he decides to take care of Aluka. He tells them, Aluka's been locked up in the house like I was before I met you all, so I want to take her out to see the world, like I was lucky enough to do. The 4 friends all spend one more night together, laughing, telling stories, and having fun before going their separate ways. And that's it for this What If story. I hope you enjoyed it, and I want to thank you all again for watching. I'll definitely still be making videos, of course, but I will be starting a new series, so I'm not 100% sure what I'll do next, but I promise it'll be just as good as this one. If you want more Hunter x Hunter, you should check out my other Hunter x Hunter What If about Gon going to the Dark Continent with Ging. If you haven't seen it already, you can think of it as a final arc to this story. So subscribe and turn on notifications so you can see as soon as I start my next series. Okay, that's really it for today, so I'll talk to you guys next time.